59-17 homecoming loss still stings, so the Aggies are taking the field tonight looking for payback. Coach told us earlier this week that we're seeing two teams built on strong cultures, high academics, and rich football tradition. He's looking forward to this. Coach told us earlier this week that we're seeing two teams built on strong cultures, high academics, and rich football tradition. He's looking forward to this game. Now, unfortunately, the Aggies are having to adjust after losing quarterbacks Champ Long, Braxton Thomas, and Jai Walls to upper body injuries last game against UCF. But coach is optimistic about the 6'3" Nelson Lane that is having to step up in their absence, noting that he has a verified 4.3 40, so he can run the ball and throw it. But he said it's not just on Nelson. He's challenged his team to rally around him and play what he calls complementary football. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Raven. Appreciate it as we get set for kickoff here in Greensboro. Andrew Brown getting set to start us off. As Nari Means and Tayshawn Johnson are back deep for Hampton. Brown end over end, and we are underway. It's Means up that sideline, finds a hole, and he is brought down by the kicker, Andrew Brown. Shot out of a cannon to start the ball game.
Roll partner, and if not for the kicker, Andrew Brown, you would see high stepping into the end zone. That's a touchdown saving tackle by Andrew Brown for North Carolina A&T.
There is some laundry on the field. A hold has been called against Hampton, so one play, one penalty so far, and that will back the Pirates up.
Getting the laundry done early in this ball game, and like the famous poet Jeezy said, bring it back.
The shadow has made its way across the entire field from west to east as the Pirates will work from south to north. It is Isaiah Freeman, the senior transfer from Lincoln out of the CIAA, that will get the call to begin the game for Trenton Boykin and Hampton. First and 10 from the 30. Here's Snipes, and he is bottled up early after a gain of about 2. Jaquan Snipes, this is a young man that has been in the nightmares of this Aggie defense since the greatest homecoming on earth a year ago. A relative unknown heading into that ball game. I can tell you he was circled on the scouting report and highlighted.
Yeah, Snipes, like you mentioned, really had a breakout game homecoming for A&T last season, looking to do more damage today.
He'll get the call again. Tries to spin out of trouble and cannot. He is tripped up and brought down by the Aggies defense.
It's a good one-on-one tackle in space on a shifty running back. It's going to set up third medium here for Hampton.
3rd and 5 for Hampton, working quickly. There'll be a play call change on the side, and Freeman will go ahead and translate that to his offensive line. The Pirates keep it on the ground again. Snipes nowhere to go, and he is stopped. That door got shut right in his face, and the Aggies will force a 3-and-out on the first drive here at home.
Sorry about that, partner. Coaches like to say that's called getting all hats to the football or gang tackling. You make one player miss on defense, you got your teammate backing you up, not allowing the first down. Good stop on the first series defense for North Carolina A&T. See here on the replay, multiple Aggies in the area. No doing there for Snipes.
Brett Starling back deep to pump this away for Hampton. Averaging almost 42 yards a punt. It'll be Elijah Kennedy waiting to retrieve it, and he gets knocked down. A flag comes out as he signaled for the fair catch, and I believe that is going to be kick-catch interference.
And Kennedy called for the fair catch. Got ran into. Immediate flag. We're going to see what the call is.
It looked like the coverage guy might have gotten pushed into him, though.
May have been pushed into it. I think that's what they're discussing now. We'll see what the call is.
Our referee tonight is Anthony Florio.
Interesting call here. 15 yards will do wonders to start this drive for North Carolina A&T.
For kick catch interference. The player was blocked into his teammate. We have first touches by Hampton at the 28-yard line. The first down, North Carolina A&T.
So the Aggies will begin this drive from their own 28 due to the coverage man being shoved into Kennedy, as we'll get another look. And there it is. No doubt.
84. How ironic is that? 84 on 84.
Into 88. Just for the record. Well, the freshman will get the call here. It's Lane. He'll keep it on the ground to Graves, and he'll go twirling in the air after a gain of about 5.
There's a bowling ball. Wesley Graves for A&T with the new quarterback under center. Want to be able to help Nelson Lane out by running the football. Hampton not great against the run so far this season.
The secondary, definitely the strong suit of this Pirates defense, as Graves gets wrapped up in the backfield.
No gain.
This time Cam Sturdivant will come running in. He had 6 tackles against Elizabeth City in the last ballgame. 2 tackles last year here in Greensboro. 2 years in a row, the Pirates sailing into the east side in order to come play North Carolina A&T, one of those weird quirks in the CAA schedule. I'm sure that favor will be returned next year.
In Hampton, last time on this field, a lot of success, so they come into this game confident.
It'll be 3rd and 5. 6 on the play clock. A&T needs to get moving. Did they get it off? Just barely. Lane under pressure, going to turn upfield, tucks it, runs it, and might have gotten shoved out of bounds just shy of that first down marker. We'll see where the spot is. On the far side, they're saying yes. On the near side, I think they're saying no. And I believe it's going to bring up, no, they're going to go ahead and give it to him. Not even a measurement. How about that? First down for the Aggies as Nelson Lane showing off the wheels.
There you see the freshman, when in doubt, tuck it and go. You mentioned speedy Nelson Lane getting the first down.
Here's Graves. There's a flag on the play, and this one, I believe, is coming back after a great rush by the Danville, Virginia native.
Wesley Graves finding a spot off guard there, picking up a first down, but we'll see what the flag is. But again, A&T run the football.
It'll be an illegal shift. Pre-snap.
That should not deter you if you're North Carolina A&T. You watch Hampton's first 2 games, you know that they give up yards on the ground. That should be A&T's focus first here in this ball game to bring along young Nelson Lane.
Last week, A&T 7 penalties. Last year in this matchup, 11 penalties for 113 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 from their own 33. The quick toss. As Amonte Jones didn't have a lot of room to operate. And he'll actually lose a yard on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 16 for the Aggies.
And that's where the pre-snap penalty here you see on the replay. Not a lot of room on the outside. You mentioned losing yardage there. Amonte Jones, but pre-snap penalties can kill drives. See if A&T can overcome it.
Lane drops back. Man in his face, tosses it up and throws it into his own bench area. You know, Lane is a guy, as you heard Raven Douglas mention before kickoff, has a verified 4.340. He's got talent. He's got wheels. But handcuffed a little bit tonight. He is the 4th string quarterback for the Aggies. And you know Sean Gibbs does not want him outside the pocket very often.
Probably not, because if you're the 4th string quarterback playing, I mean, who's the 5th string?
Well, so tonight it's Noah Sanders.
So you want Nelson Lane to stay healthy throughout this ball game, but you don't want to limit his ability to run the football. So it's a double-edged sword.
It really is. And you don't want him to have to think too much out there as he fakes the throw, tucks it, runs it, and he gets drilled into the Aggie bench. Sturtevant will get off of him quickly, and that will put a 4 in the box beyond the chains, and the punt unit will enter the field of play for North Carolina A&T for the first time tonight. It'll be DJ Page, averaging about 42.5 yards per punt, to kick this one away.
Number 23, Cameron Jones.
That's where the pre-snap penalty rears its ugly head. That illegal motion penalty really set that drive back for A&T, and they have to punt it away. As a coaching staff, you always say don't beat yourselves.
Donovan Shepard back deep for Hampton. He'll signal for the fair catch inside the 20. So DJ Page got the job done. We have zeros across the board here in the first quarter. Hampton, North Carolina A&T, the CAA game of the week. We're back after this.
It's a new year at Green Ford. That means we have new, amazing specials for you. Save $12,400 on the 2024 Ford F-150 STX or finance for $494 per month. Get the 2025 Escape, just $378 per month. Or the 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4-wheel drive automatic, only $403 per month. All come with the Green Ford Advantage. It's a new year at Green Ford. Built Ford proud, staying strong and moving you forward. That's Green Ford.
Flow College.
Hey, thank you very much. My name is Adrian Smith, and I popped into my local McDonald's to get my 2 favorite breakfast items on the buy one, get one for $1 breakfast meat, a sausage McMuffin, and my hash brown. I'll be back at lunchtime today to get a $5 meal deal featuring a chicken sandwich. Hope to see you at McDonald's soon.
Significant changes in my skin. Good Molecules is everything.
My skin looks flawless. My skin is just glowing, and who doesn't want that?
Good Molecules made an amazing difference in my skin. My skin has glowed up completely.
Hyperpigmentation cleared up a lot. My skin tone is a lot smoother.
I've truly seen a difference in my skin. Now I have confidence, and now I'm glowing.
I feel confident in my skin once again, thanks to Good Molecules.
This time last year, freshman quarterback Nelson Lane was playing under the high school Friday Night Lights. Tonight, he's under the pressure of a Division I defense. We find him in the spot like this after the Aggies have had 5 quarterbacks, yes, I said 5, seriously injured since April, including Kevin Wyatt, Austin Hooker, Champ Long, Braxton Thomas, and Jai Walsh. As the next man up, Lane is playing against a team that he knows pretty well. He grew up in Highland Springs, Virginia. That's about an hour from Hampton campus. He was recruited by Hampton as well and received an offer from them in May of 2024. He said he had other options as well, but he chose A&T because he said A&T gives him a balance between excellent academics as well as playing in a top conference. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Raven. 3-0 A&T. And you know Trenton Boykin was on huddle all week watching highlights from high school.
Not much, or none, rather, game film in college for Nelson Lane.
It means he got popped.
Big time hit on the kickoff. Means sees a little gap, contact in the hole, able to absorb it and bounce off of it. Spins forward for another 3 yards, but that's called football, baby.
Cameron Dalrymple with that tackle, the Navy transfer.
Let's see if defensively A&T can keep it up, keep the field position in their favor.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 22 for the Pirates. Freeman will toss it out to the wing. And that will move the Pirates ahead for a few.
Good open field tackle there by Aaron Harris for A&T.
Tyson Johnson with that grab. It'll bring up 2nd and 5. Freeman going empty set, tucks it, runs it. Has a little bit of room, turns upfield, and will get escorted out of bounds just shy of the 45.
There's the escapability of Isaiah Freeman. You mentioned last week didn't run for a ton of yards versus Elizabeth City State. And I think that that's the case because the current coach at Elizabeth City State, Adrian Jones, formerly was a coach at Shaw, who played Freeman when Freeman was the quarterback at Lincoln. So
it's a small world is what you're telling me.
It's a very small world, understanding the strengths of Isaiah Freeman.
Freeman again upfield, crosses into Aggie territory and will run out of real estate at around the 43. So it's the Isaiah Freeman show for this Hampton offense here in the first quarter.
Note where to go with the football for Isaiah Freeman. A lot of green grass on that left sideline. So Freeman scoots for another 1st down.
So 2 straight 1st downs for this Hampton offense. Do the Aggies have a stop in them yet again? They've looked good here throughout the first quarter. This is the first time we've really seen any significant yardage gained. Freeman, 3rd time in a row, and he will get drilled in the open field. And there is an Aggie down on the play. It is Trayvon Dye.
That's the youngster there. Speaking so highly of him on that last defensive series for A&T, getting the big sack. He's down on the field. You see that Hampton has utilized the legs of Isaiah Freeman on this drive. Aggies not able to account for Freeman so far in the run game.
41 yards on the ground on those last 3 plays for Isaiah Freeman. I mean, listen, there's no secret here. This Hampton team runs the football, period. So, but it's one of those things, Damien, where you could stack 8 in the box, you can stack 9 in the box. It's still hard to stop, no matter who's running the football for Hampton.
But for A&T, you mentioned you can stack the box, it doesn't matter. But so if A&T stacks the box and Hampton is a running team, it's all about who's going to beat who, what man is going to beat what man. And for Hampton, they feel like, hey, we can line up in front of you and we can run the football. If you're A&T, you take that personally. Like, hey, you know, we put our pants on just like you put yours on. So if you want to run at us, we're going to stop it.
Are you a left leg first or a right leg first guy?
It really depends. I mean, it's no rhyme or reason.
Okay, I'm just,
yeah, no rhyme or reason. That's an interesting question.
Hampton, 4th in FCS football in rushing offense, 253.5 yards per game. Here comes Jackie Chavis, his first touch of the evening, and it'll be a gain of 3.
Running backs for Hampton hadn't got much done in the run game. It's been the quarterback, Isaiah Freeman, getting the chunk yardage on the ground for Hampton. It's a short gain for the Pirates on first down.
But Trenton Boykin, my goodness, a ton of options. Now it's TK Passant, the 6'5", 265-pound tight end that will line up a little bit in the backfield. Every now and then he'll even get a carry. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Hampton. 4 on the play clock. Can the Pirates get it off? I'm not sure they were set. The throw over the middle. That one is complete to Johnson, and he'll waltz into the end zone. Touchdown, Hampton.
And that play was made at the line of scrimmage by the quarterback, Isaiah Freeman. Saw that it was 0 coverage in the secondary, so you break one tackle, you get into the end zone. You see here on the replay, 0 coverage on the back end. Tackle not made in the secondary. And that's a waltz into the end zone for Hampton and Tayshawn Johnson. Tayshawn Johnson galloping to the sidelines with Hampton's first score.
Starling on for the extra point, and that one is good. 7-3, Hampton on top of North Carolina A&T late in the first. And how about Isaiah Freeman on that drive?
Yeah, credit to Hampton. Hadn't did much in their first couple of drives. And Isaiah Freeman got the drive going with his legs and finishes it off with a touchdown pass to Tayshawn Johnson. And now Hampton, momentum on the side for the Pirates. You mentioned getting off to a good start. Something that A&T wanted to do here at home under new head coach Sean Gibbs. Did get the field goal, but defensively broke down in the run game on that drive.
Is this deja vu all over again?
I don't think it's deja vu. It's all about how you answer here. If you're North Carolina A&T, yeah, you give up the touchdown, but there's plenty of time left in the ball game. It's how you answer that scoring drive for Hampton.
Last year, Hampton outscored A&T 56-3 in the final 3 quarters of action.
It was an avalanche of points for Hampton after A&T got off to such a great start. On homecoming, the crowd was behind it. The band was loud and everything was going right until it wasn't.
Aaron Harris will let this one sail out of bounds, and the illegal procedure will move the football ahead into solid field position for North Carolina A&T to begin this drive.
And that penalty is going to help the Aggies, like you mentioned, to start this drive. You know, I would like to see Aaron Harris get his hands on that ball. He's dangerous in the return game for North Carolina A&T.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for North Carolina A&T from its own 35.
And with a freshman quarterback, what do you do to answer if you're head coach Sean Gibbs here? You know that Hampton has struggled to stop the run. You continue to try to pound the ball and lean on that run game.
Well, that's how you limit Hampton's touches also, right? You want to control the time of possession. So far, the Aggies averaging about 34.5 minutes per game of possession. Here's Graves. He's got nowhere to go.
Hampton right now understands, like, hey, A&T wants to run the football. They got a freshman in there playing quarterback. They're not going to throw the ball all over the field. Let's stack it in the box, and let's stop the run and force Nelson Lane to complete passes.
And now you're behind the chains yet again. This is the spot that you can't be in if you're A&T. You have a youngster making his debut at this level. The last thing you want to do is make it more difficult than it needs to be on him.
Well, coaches call it staying ahead of the sticks and always want to get positive yardage.
The pass out to the outside for Jamison Warren. He'll sprint ahead. A helmet popped off. And we have a whistle as he went out of bounds. The clock will stop.
To number 2.
And Anthony Rucker will have to come off the field for a play.
The lid on the field for A&T.
Did you see Sturdifin coming off the outside there on the blitz? He got picked up by Graves.
And that's what you have to do. It's all about the little things. Graves picking up that blitz enabled Lane to make this one a 3rd and short.
3rd and 4 for North Carolina A&T in a 2-back set. A handoff to Graves, has plenty of room. He's at the numbers into Hampton territory and will get shoved out of bounds at the 40-yard line of the Pirates. And the Aggies will keep the drive alive.
Hampton sends the blitz from the outside. Aggies, good thing for A&T, running to the opposite side of the blitz. And Graves, for a big guy, gets the corner, picks up a big-time 1st down.
Wesley Graves has been here a long, long time. He has seen a lot of great rushers ahead of him. He has learned a ton. And now back under Sean Gibbs, the leader of what was affectionately known as RBU for a long, long time. Back to Graves, sheds a tackle, and is brought down at the 36.
Head coach Sean Gibbs knows his way around Greensboro, as you mentioned, coming home, trying to lead the Aggies back to the promised land. Like, it was a time where A&T, they were the talk of HBCU football, and A&T trying to get to that position.
Dillard nowhere to go. 3 Pirates in on him quickly. As Antoine Nelson, the sophomore, was the first man there for Hampton.
That's a big-time stop for Hampton because it sets up 3rd and long for A&T. Probably going to have to put the ball in the air to pick up this 1st down. And with the freshman quarterback, you don't want to make any mistakes. You got a pretty good drive going here. It's a big 3rd down if A&T can pick it up to keep it alive.
The Aggies will have to run one more play here in the quarter. Kennedy, the motion man. He's at the top of your screen in the slot. Lane looking, flushed, and brought down.
And Lane pressured in the backfield. Tries to tuck it and go. But that's just a big-time play made by the defense for Hampton.
Corriday Sagbason, the junior out of Laurel, Maryland.
I was going to try it. I'll let you do it first. Corriday Sagbason.
And that is the end of the 1st quarter. Hampton 7, North Carolina A&T 3. We're back after this on Flow College and My 48.
It's a new year at Green Ford. That means we have new, amazing specials for you. Save $12,400 on the 2024 Ford F-150 STX or finance for $494 per month. Get the 2025 Escape, just $378 per month. Or the 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4-wheel drive automatic, only $403 per month. All come with the Green Ford Advantage. It's a new year at Green Ford. Built Ford proud, staying strong and moving you forward. That's Green Ford.
CAA on Flow College.
Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Smith, and I stopped into my local McDonald's to get my 2 favorite breakfast items on the buy one, get one for $1 breakfast meat, a sausage McMuffin, and my hash brown. I'll be back at lunchtime today to get a $5 meal deal featuring a chicken sandwich. Hope to see you at McDonald's soon.
Quick update on the redshirt freshman Trayvon Dye. We saw him go down, but he was able to get up and walk off the field himself. He was grimacing a little bit. He's been evaluated and will be returning to the game. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Raven. Always appreciate your updates. And how about this? How about a congratulations to Raven? She was presented with her women's basketball regular season championship ring from last year before the game. No more eligibility for Raven, but made the most of her quick time in an Aggie uniform, transferring from Quinnipiac, and now earning a graduate degree. She'll be finished up this semester.
Shouts out to Raven, Raleigh's own, but you know, she didn't come on the field pregame trying to flex the ring. I mean, you kind of noticed it. You know,
she grabbed the microphone, and you
right.
saw it, and you know, it's all good though. I don't blame her. She earned it.
Not bad for a Raleigh kid.
Coming from a Durham guy. 1st and 10 for the Pirates. Freeman to the outside, and he seems to have his favorite target tonight, Tyzon Johnson, who came into today with 4 receptions for just 9 yards. He's already got a touchdown to his name this evening.
Now it's up to North Carolina A&T's defense to keep it a 7-3 ball game here. You didn't answer offensively. Now you cannot let Hampton stack points on top of points. If you're A&T, you're not built to come from behind, especially with your 5th quarterback so far this season.
2nd and 4. Freeman drops back, launches one down the sideline. Johnson will draw the penalty on Harris, and that will move the chains. You can see his shoulder pad showing as he...
It looked like hand fighting between both players. You see the jersey coming down the shoulder pad. And that's a clear indication Aaron Harris getting a little bit too handsy
there it is, right there.
And Tayshawn Johnson. Johnson, who caught that touchdown for Hampton in their last offensive possession, now picks up another 15 yards for the offense.
Johnson last season at Lake Erie College, 65 catches, 756 yards, 10 touchdowns. Nice pickup for Coach Boykin and the Pirates. The end around. And the Aggies able to limit that a little bit to Snipes, as he will be able to gain up to the 46.
Snipes breaks the initial tackle, breaks another one there. Hard to bring down is Juan Snipes.
6 foot 215 from just down the road in Ashboro. Freeman under pressure to the outside and led his intended target, Marshawn Ferguson, just a little too far.
Ferguson had a slight step on the defender. Pass off target. Brings up 3rd down for Hampton, and this is a big down defensively for North Carolina A&T. Get off the field for the Aggies.
3rd and 6 for the Pirates. Hampton converting 37% of their 3rd down attempts. Freeman tucks it, has plenty of room, and has the 1st down and more into Aggie territory, still going, and brought down at the 26. Isaiah Freeman showing off the wheels.
Right now, North Carolina A&T not accounting for the running ability of Isaiah Freeman. They're dropping back into coverage there on 3rd and 5, and field opened up. parted like the Red Sea there for Freeman.
And it's so interesting because when we spoke to Sean Gibbs, the Aggies' new head coach, he mentioned to us, if they're going to beat us, let them beat us through the air. So to see a quarterback start running all over this A&T defense, I know he's not pleased right now. Freeman sails that one over the head of Maxwell Moss, and that will bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the bevy of running backs that have played in this ball game so far for Hampton, they haven't done the damage on the ground. It's been the quarterback who's getting it done on the ground for Hampton and Isaiah Freeman. The Pirates look to put more points on the board.
A&T last game gave up 356 rushing yards against UCF. Obviously a different type of opponent. Freeman tucks, runs, this time nowhere to go. He gets hip tossed down to the natural grass surface here at Truist Stadium. As Joshua Isaiah, the Charlotte, North Carolina native, with the tackle.
Freeman again trying to use his legs, and if you're A&T, you know, I say this in all sportsmanship, you're going to have to make Isaiah Freeman pay eventually for running the football.
Donovan Shepard will line up as the single back. 3rd and 8 from the 24. Shepard, the motion man. Freeman all by his lonesome. He'll toss it out to Shepard. He's got some room to operate, sheds a tackle, and is brought down, twirls ahead past the first down marker, and that will keep the drive alive as the Pirates enter the red zone.
And that's one-on-one in open space. You got to make that tackle if you're Kamari Blankumsey. Shepard breaks that first tackle, and that's how he picks up the first down to keep the drive alive for Hampton.
Opponents are 6 for 6 in the red zone against the Aggies defense so far this year. 1st and 10 from the 15. Freeman, and he will take a big hit from Kamari Blankumsey.
Freeman loses a shoe in this one. Hampton's going to continue to run Isaiah Freeman defensively. If you're A&T, quarterback is free game when he runs the football, so you want to make him think about it every time he runs it. Kudos to Isaiah Freeman. He is getting it done on the ground so far in this ball game.
Giovanni Carr-Bordeaux has entered the game for the Aggie defense on the edge. And there were two men in motion there. Marshawn Ferguson jumped the count in the slot, while Shepard was the motion man.
Freeman was looking for TK Passant, the big tight end. Thought he had a mismatch in the slot. That's going to back Pirates up 5 yards here. Here you see Dye running back onto the field for A&T. That's a good sight for the Aggies. He's been able to remain in the ball game.
This is a crucial set of downs in this ball game here. If this A&T defense is able to hold Hampton to 3 or none, they're going to stay in this game. If not, it could spell trouble.
I second that notion, partner.
2nd and 12 for Hampton. Snipes the motion man. Freeman tucks it, runs it, able to shift around. He takes a big hit in the middle of the field as Jaden Williams stepped up to lay the wood.
Again, you want to make sure that Isaiah Freeman feels it every time he runs that football. Jaden Williams, sophomore Mike Backer, and a big-time hit on Freeman is going to set up 3rd and about 5 here for Hampton. Pirates trying to keep this drive alive, not settle for a field goal.
3rd and 4 for Hampton. And this is where that penalty comes into play. Freeman throws over the middle. That one jarred loose, knocked away, incomplete. And the Aggies will force 4th down. A big, big stop for this defense.
Trey Mittman all over. Wide out like a glove. It's a big 3rd down stop there. The Aggies force a Hampton field goal attempt.
Starling on for the field goal. It will be a 27-yard attempt. looked like it was tipped. It'll still go through, and that's good for 3. So the Pirates held to 3, 10-3. Hampton leads it with 9:49 to go in the first half. We'll take a timeout. You're tuned in to the CAA Game of the Week.
On Flow College.
Hey, thank you very much. My name is Andrew Smith, and I popped into my local McDonald's to get my 2 favorite breakfast items on the buy one, get one for $1 breakfast meat, a sausage McMuffin, and my hash brown. I'll be back at lunchtime today to get a $5 meal deal featuring a chicken sandwich. Hope to see you at McDonald's soon.
Seen significant changes in my skin. Good Molecules is everything.
My skin looks flawless. My skin is just glowing. And who doesn't want that?
Good Molecules made an amazing difference in my skin. My skin has glowed up completely.
Hyperpigmentation cleared up a lot. My skin tone is a lot smoother.
I've truly seen a difference in my skin. Now I have confidence and now I'm glowing.
I feel confident in my skin once again, thanks to Good Molecules.
Back with you in Greensboro, 10-3. Hampton leading North Carolina A&T. Aggie fans back in Truist Stadium. They look a little happier this season.
And you got a homecoming for head coach Sean Gibbs, and for the Aggie fans, a face that's familiar to the program and familiar to success at North Carolina A&T. So understanding that Rome wasn't built in a day, the Aggies are not going to build the program back up in a game or 2 or 3, and to be patient with head coach Sean Gibbs.
Well, the program motto has returned to what it was under Rod Broadway and Sam Washington. We do chicken.
We do chicken. Because
there's a bunch of herbs and spices in the mix. You and I still don't know them. We're not privy to that. But Sean Gibbs says he's got it. His great-grandmother did not hold back some of those spices. She gave the whole recipe. There you go.
It's a small world. I actually worked with Coach Gibbs' father. So it's a small world.
It certainly is, as Harris is brought down just shy of the 25. A flag came in, and it looks like it's going to be a hold, and this one is coming back. Well, as you mentioned, some Durham connections there with Sean Gibbs.
Yeah, I worked with Coach Gibbs' father at Durham Public Schools, and I actually worked with a couple of his nephews at another school. And I found out that Mr. Gibbs, which I worked with, his grandsons played at Shaw University in Raleigh. I'm like, hey, it's a couple kids on Shaw's team, last name Gibbs. Are you related to him? Like, yeah, that's my grandsons. He was like, yeah, my other son is a head coach too. His name is Sean. This is prior to Coach Gibbs coming back to A&T. It's a small world, ladies and gentlemen. It definitely is. I'm not biased, though. Let me just say I'm not biased.
But there is another Durham connection to Coach Gibbs. He probably wouldn't love me highlighting it, but he did go to school down the road in Durham.
Well, I didn't want to bring that up.
As the Aggies will start out on offense, JT Smith with the carry.
You know how I feel about Durham around here, these parts in Greensboro.
Well, the Pirates made that pit stop in Durham. The Eagles opened up the birdcage for them and allowed them to practice on Friday on their way to the Gate City.
Central is going to fly into town next week, but first things first for A&T, the Hampton Pirates.
Hand off to Smith. He gets dragged down from behind as Marcellus Nash, the freshman, able to trip him up by that shoelace.
And football is a funny game from week to week. And as I scouted Hampton, I watched them play Elizabeth City State last week. And Elizabeth City State was able to run the football on Hampton pretty much whenever they wanted to, and Hampton's been pretty good against the run so far in this ballgame.
Well, against Jackson State in the opener, gave up 283 rushing yards. So Lane tosses it to the outside. That pass is complete to Javon Dillard. Was he able to gain the first? It looks like the line judge is going to wave the chains down the field, and a 1 has been entered into the electronic box across the way. That will keep the drive alive. And how about that from Nelson Lane, staying cool under pressure, finding the man on the wing.
A couple things on that play for A&T. Nelson, in the shadows of your own end zone, having the confidence to fire it to the outside and picking up that first down to keep the drive going. It's big time for Nelson Lane.
Smith gets the call again. He's past the 25 and is brought down at around the 27. So the Aggies now finding a little rhythm on the ground. It'll bring up 2nd and 3 for the blue and gold. And Damien, you see across the way as well, the marching force starting to make their way out of the bleachers and onto the track. Going to be a good halftime show here in Greensboro. Both bands in attendance. Things may run a little longer than usual. Nobody counts during halftime when both great bands are here in town. Here's Lane showing off the wheels and the hurdle move. And now some pushing and shoving on the sideline.
Lane trying to pick up that first down after a good gain on first for North Carolina A&T. If you're the Aggies,
it's going to be awfully close, and now we get the first down sign. They're going to move the chains down the field for the Aggies as Lane showing to the track program here. He might be a hurdler.
If you're North Carolina A&T, as this game progresses and you gain more confidence in Nelson Lane, you can open up the playbook more. Not sure how much of the playbook they're actually allowing Lane to process here in his first collegiate start.
Smith gets the call again, tries to bounce it outside, cannot, and he is upended on that wing as Andre Jackson Jr. came flying in. The North Carolina native coming off a 5-tackle performance against ECSU. Also forced a fumble in that ball game. And you know, Damien, it's funny, when I spoke to Coach Gibbs earlier this week, he was only half joking with me that Nelson Lane was going to have to head over to War Memorial Stadium and learn how to slide with the baseball coach, Ben Hall, just to keep him healthy. Apparently, that lesson, if it took place, went in one ear and out the other.
But sometimes in the heat of battle, you know, you're not really thinking about it. You're just trying to get every inch and every yardage that you can.
Kennedy hauls it in at the 35, got sandwiched between two Pirates. And it will bring up 3rd and 5.
That's an important 5 yards, though, to make it 3rd and manageable here. Not only are you able to throw it here with Lane, but if you're Hampton, you have to count for the running ability of the youngster Nelson Lane as well. Pivotal that A&T pick up this first down to keep the drive going.
Smith gets the call, breaks free, lowers his shoulder, and is just shy of Pirates territory as there's an injured Pirate on the ground.
Holding that shoulder, that's the Pirate that attempted to tackle J.T. Smith.
It's Anthony Hightower.
J.T. Smith discarded him.
That was, you want to talk about bringing the boom. Oh, baby.
Hightower holding that shoulder after J.T. Smith lowering his shoulder to keep that run moving upfield. And you see A&T starting to get that run game going, mixing it in with some passing plays for Nelson Lane.
Smith so far, 7 carries, 27 yards. The 5'10", 195-pound junior running like he's Wesley Graves, to be honest with you.
Wesley Graves also has that ability to run through tacklers.
Play action. Lane launches it down the sideline, and that one is brought in!
And
Javon Dillard.
Confidence is a heck of a thing, partner. You pick up a couple of first downs. You get the freshmen some confidence and like, hey, let's throw them a bone. Let's throw a deep one and see what happens. And excellent way to fight back to the ball. First of all, look at the pocket for Lane to throw a beautiful ball. Hand fighting in the secondary, and Javon Dillard makes the big grab for A&T.
That play was set up by the run. Here's Smith again, hurdles, stays on his feet, and is brought down inside the 5, but there's a flag on the play.
JT Smith trying to get into the end zone, had visions of 6, but let's see what the penalty is here on the field.
It'll be a hold, and that'll bring back this terrific rush as JT Smith coming alive here in quarter number 2.
And that's going to be a big 10-yard penalty there against A&T. It was going to be 2nd and goal from about the 1-yard line after that JT Smith run. Now the Aggies outside of the 20.
So 1st and goal from just outside of the red zone as we have a whistle.
Please set the game code to 4 minutes, 12 seconds, 25 seconds on the play clock. The ball clock will start on my signal.
So the clock started a smidge too soon.
Just a skosh.
First game jitters for everybody.
No jitters on this drive for Nelson Lane.
Reverse. Dillard back to Lane. Here's Jones. So the Aggies reaching deep into the playbook to get a little bit more into the red zone.
Why not? You're playing with house money. If you're Lane, and Lane starting to get comfortable out there for North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, you can't pull that off unless you're oozing confidence. You just can't.
And the coaching staff has to be confident that you can pull that play off and execute it without turning the ball over.
2nd and goal. Graves inside the 10, keeps the pile moving to about the 7. And that's all reliable right there.
If you're A&T here, do you put the ball in the air or do you keep it on the ground and pound it? And if you don't score, you take the 3. Interesting to see here.
3rd and goal for the Aggies. The high snap brought down, quarterback keeper. Lane races to the edge. Got his helmet knocked off and his bell rung. Will Hicks.
Lane filling that one.
There have been some big-time hits in this ball game, folks.
And you mentioned Nelson Lane going over to War Memorial and learning how to slide. Let's see here on the replay. Lane trying to get to the corner.
That's a target.
That's classic target, launching himself, the crown of his helmet into Lane.
And Andre Jackson Jr.'s day might be over.
But more importantly, let's hope that Nelson Lane is okay. If he can't continue, then A&T will be playing their 6th quarterback on the season. Here you see again on the replay, Lane trying to get to the end zone. And here you see the launch.
Yeah, that's targeting. He'll be done for the day. The video replay official is Jennings Custis. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back after this.
It's a new year at Green Ford. That means we have new, amazing specials for you. Save $12,400 on the 2024 Ford F-150 STX or finance for $494 per month. Get the 2025 Escape, just $378 per month. Or the 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4-wheel drive automatic, only $403 per month. All come with the Green Ford Advantage. It's a new year at Green Ford. Built Ford proud, staying strong and moving you forward. That's Green Ford.
on Flow College.
Back with you here in Greensboro. We await a decision from Anthony Florio, our referee, as he is over at the monitor still taking a look at the play.
And we saw on the replay a couple of times. Looked like that may be it for Mr. Will Hicks this evening.
It might be Andre Jackson Jr. Hicks was the second man in.
Launching with the crown of the helmet, probably going to be targeting an automatic first down for A&T, but is Nelson Lane okay to keep playing football tonight? If you're A&T, you don't have many options left at quarterback.
He was your 6th quarterback. Let's go ahead and send it down to the sideline. Raven Douglas standing by.
Thanks, guys. I was glad to see Nelson Lane be able to get up and kind of walk it off. We'll see kind of what's the update on him, but I want to go back and talk about these running backs for a second. JT Smith and Wesley Graves really being the spark for the offense. Coach Gibbs has been comfortable with the depth that he has at that position. He's been comfortable with it all season. He said being a running back is dangerous, so having these guys out here being fearless, he is proud to see. He's fired up, yelling at his teammates, telling them to run through him, run through him, run through him. Back to you guys.
Targeting has been called. So that will bring up 1st and goal for the Aggies. And the next man up as the signal caller is the Delaware transfer, Noah Sanders, QB number 7 for A&T.
You can't make this up, partner. The 7th quarterback North Carolina A&T has had under center, and it's Noah Sanders.
Smith is the deep back. The pitch. Smith has room, and can he get in? He can! Touchdown, North Carolina A&T.
JT Smith. More like JT money. Cash in the end zone. Nice edge. Block there. You don't get into the end zone if you're JT Smith without good blocking and the extra effort at the end to fight and cross the plane. The Aggies are an extra point away from tying things up here in Greensboro.
So the Wofford transfer finds pay dirt for the first time in a blue and gold uniform. And it is a 1-point game here in Greensboro.
And the seal block by Mac David II. I remember the older version of Mac David.
Moving over from defense to offense, there have been some position changes under the new regime here in Greensboro.
But again, however you can get on the field and contribute.
Anthony Florio has just informed us that Jennings Custis, the replay official, would like to take another look at that touchdown.
We'll see here on the replay if the thing, it was called touchdown on the field, so it has to be
irrefutable to turn it over.
It has to be clear evidence that JT Smith did not score. You see on the replay here, JT Smith catches the corner. Good block there by Mac David II. A couple of Pirate defenders tackle him. You can't see. He's laying on the back of a Hampton defender. Play was called touchdown on the field. If you don't see irrefutable evidence to overturn it, you got to keep it as is.
Let's go ahead and send it down to our sideline reporter, Raven Douglas. She's got an update on Nelson Lane.
Thanks, guys. Just a quick injury update. Nelson has been evaluated. They just wanted to make sure, but he just jogged out of the tent and he will be returning to the game. Back to you guys.
Well, I'm sure Sean Gibbs just let out a big sigh of relief.
Oh, to be young. If you're Nelson Lane, if I had taken that hit, you probably wouldn't see me for the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm talking
taking
about
the hit at this age or taking the hit when you were playing?
No, at this age.
Okay.
When I played,
you were dishing them out at that. I mean, not to say that you were launching yourself and hitting people in the ground.
No such thing as targeting when I played.
That too. Listen, I wasn't going to go there.
No, I'm old. It's okay. I'm very old. It's okay. I played at a time in my life where the guys from Durham were in the CAA conference. So,
yeah. Well, A&T has not beaten Hampton since leaving the MEAC. September 29th, 2016, a 31-9 win. So it has been a while since the Aggies have overcome the Pirate attack. A few conferences later.
It's been a while. But I'll tell you what my son always tells me, like Knuckles on Sonic, this ends now.
It has been confirmed, a touchdown on the field. So J.T. Smith, the Charlotte, North Carolina native, able to find the promised land officially.
And that's a big-time drive. You got to think about where that drive started if you're North Carolina A&T.
13 plays, 90 yards in 7 minutes. And that last number, 7, that's the key right there.
And a chunk pass play down the field from your freshman quarterback to set up that touchdown. And ultimately, the Aggies trying to tie it up here.
Andrew Brown, 4 for 4 on PATs this season. Make it 5 for 5, and we are knotted up at 10. With 2:43 remaining in the first half and what has been a terrific ball game so far. The Aggie fans in attendance pleased with what they see so far from the Gibbs era. I'll tell you what, wonderful crowd on hand here tonight, almost a sellout. You can see just about to the edge of the far side, both bands in attendance as well, making for a terrific atmosphere here at Truist Stadium. And how about this for a lineup to begin things for A&T schedule-wise here at home? You've got Hampton tonight. Next week, the squad from Durham makes their way to town for a 4 p.m. kickoff here on Flo College and My-48. And then it's homecoming.
I mean,
against South Carolina State.
And the scheduling gods have given A&T fans, although they're in a new conference, the CAA, they're not in an HBCU conference. Again, you're going to start your season off with some of that nostalgia and some of those familial opponents. What better way to start this Sean Gibbs era off by bringing the family back and trying to get this program back on the right track.
Brown will try and send this one deep. And this will go into the end zone, means we'll bring it out. Trying to angle across the entire field, and he is brought down by Aaron Harris.
And that's a lot of running for a little bit of yards there for Means.
Especially when it was in the end zone already.
You know, you take a chance by bringing it out of the end zone. You thought Means may have something going here with the corner. Excellent kick coverage there by your starting cornerback, no less, Aaron Harris. Going to make Hampton drive the length of the field if they want to put points on the board on this drive.
So Freeman back out to steer the Pirate ship with 2:35 to go in the half. 2 timeouts remaining and the 2-minute timeout.
Sorry
Excuse me,
about that,
Damien.
partner.
No, that's my fault.
That's on me. If you're A&T, you're thinking about stopping Hampton here, getting the ball back, getting it back to your offense here.
Freeman through the air. That will fall incomplete. That one hung up there for a while.
The defender did not get his head around. Had you got your head around, you may have a chance, if you're Ty Williams Jr., to pick that one off, but that's a good play defensively for A&T. Not a lot of time off the clock. 2nd and 10 here. You're looking to try to get the ball back and score points before halftime.
A&T with 3 timeouts remaining. So this is where things get interesting. Freeman, the keeper, gets brought down from behind at around the 17.
And you don't need to use a timeout here if you're A&T. There's plenty of time left in this one.
Well, the 2-minute timeout is still in play.
So you don't have to use a timeout. It's 3rd down now for Hampton. So the Pirates are probably going to have to throw it to pick it up here for 1st down. So this is a...
And now the clock will stop for an injury.
Situation here in Greensboro. A&T is going to play this one perfectly if they can come up with this 3rd down stop here.
So there is a Pirate lineman down on the ground.
Can't see who that Pirate player is on the ground. Let's hope that young man is okay. But coming up after this injury for Hampton, it's 3rd and about 7 here. So you're probably going to have to throw the ball if you're A&T defensively. Be aware of Isaiah Freeman's legs here. So they're going to charge Hampton with a timeout here for injury.
It'll be 3rd and 6 officially as the Pirates have the clock stopped. A timeout has been taken off the board. This changes everything right now.
And for A&T, if you can come up with a stop here, you have plenty of time with timeouts to try to put a scoring drive together. And remember, the Aggies get the ball back to start the second half.
It appears to be the tight end, TK Passant.
And we didn't see exactly what happened to Passant on the play as Isaiah Freeman picked up 4 yards on 2nd and 10 for Hampton. But again, anytime a player goes down, regardless of what team it is, you always hope that player is okay.
And it looks like they are bringing out the air cast. That is unfortunate.
And that's not a good sign.
We're going to take a timeout as the Pirate is 10-2. We'll be back after this.
Ford F-150 has power up front and out back. With up to 7.2 kilowatts in the bed, Pro Power Onboard lets you plug in the tools you need and get work done almost anywhere. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Let's talk about SAC. SAC stands for Student Athlete Advisory Committee. We get to connect between teams, communities, administration, the CAA conference, and the NCAA.
Our group is comprised of student athletes from different sports who represent the voice, opinions, concerns, and interests of our group.
CAA SAC provides an opportunity to enhance our leadership abilities.
We make an impact on our team.
We make an impact on our campuses.
We make an impact in our communities. We are CAA SAC.
Fact. It's Ford Truck Month, and it's the best time to get a great deal on a new Ford truck. From the company that assembles more vehicles, employs more hourly workers, who help make Ford the best-selling truck brand in
on Flow College.
Hey, thank you very much. My name is Andrew Smith, and I popped into my local McDonald's to get my 2 favorite breakfast items on the.
Back with you here in Greensboro. 3rd down, 6 to go, 2:12 to play in the second. As we are back to action after the injury timeout. It will be Freeman as the quarterback. Shepard will serve as his single back. Hard count for the Pirates. Freeman dropping back, looking, throws, and completes the pass to the sideline for the first down to Marshawn Ferguson.
Ferguson knew where the sticks were, got just beyond that. If you're A&T, you got to understand, don't want to get beat over the top, so you give up that first down, but that's a big first down for Hampton. Gets a new set of downs at the 2-minute mark.
The 2-minute timeout is upon us. We're knotted up at 10 in Greensboro. We're back after these messages on Flow College and My 48.
Significant changes in my skin. Good Molecules is everything.
My skin looks flawless. My skin is just glowing. And who doesn't want that?
Good Molecules made an amazing difference in my skin. My skin has glowed up completely.
Hyperpigmentation cleared up a lot. My skin tone is a lot smoother.
I've truly seen a difference in my skin. Now I have confidence and now I'm glowing.
I feel confident in my skin once again, thanks to Good Molecules.
Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Smith, and I popped into my local McDonald's to get my 2 favorite breakfast items on the buy one, get one for $1 breakfast meat, a sausage McMuffin, and my hash brown. I'll be back at lunchtime today to get a $5 meal deal featuring a chicken sandwich. Hope to see you at McDonald's soon.
Defense came off the field. The defensive line head coach and assistant head coach pulled his guys aside and said, we're going to make some adjustments. We're going to throw some pressure at them. We're going to throw some blitz at him. He really wants to get the defense hyped up as they look to maintain the tie for their team today. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Raven, as both squads will make their way back out onto the field following the 2-minute timeout. Hampton, 1 timeout remaining in their back pocket. A&T with 3. So that definitely plays a role here.
For A&T, still in pretty good shape here. Got all 3 timeouts. If you can get a stop here, try to get the ball back. But again, one of my keys to the game was turnovers. You got to be opportunistic. For A&T, a turnover here will change things dramatically.
Freeman, the pump fake. Sends it deep down the seam and leads his receiver, Maxwell Moss, just a tad too far. And Damian, this is where play calling is going to be of the utmost importance now, because if you're Hampton, do you stop the clock? Do you keep it going? What kind of confidence do you have in your offense to keep the chains moving? What are you doing?
Well, you have a senior quarterback in Isaiah Freeman, so you have to be confident that you can push the ball down the field, yet and still you don't want to pretty much give A&T a timeout there by having an incomplete pass. So for A&T now, hey, we're thinking we still got our timeouts. If they want to throw it again, throw it again. If we'll stop it and keep these timeouts.
Oh, it's a 5-wide set. Does Freeman tuck it and run?
It's always a possibility with Freeman because of his mobility.
Throws to the sideline, some hand fighting, and no flag on that one as Johnson cannot beat Harris.
This time Aaron Harris wins that battle. Now you look up, it's 3rd and 10 here. A&T potentially doesn't have to use any of their timeouts.
Well, this is the age-old question. Do you raise the white flag and do you run the football?
Well, if you run the football, A&T is going to call a timeout and save time anyway. They'll still have 2 left, so you're pretty much pigeonholed into trying to pick up this first down here if you're Hampton.
Another 5-wide set, 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. 3rd and 10. Johnson tosses it to Ferguson, and he is stopped what appears to be just shy of the first down marker. It will bring up 4th down with 1 to go.
And that's going to be a big stop there. And Hampton,
they're at least going to try and draw A&T off sides.
And lining up as if they're going to go for it. This is, if they do, very gutsy call here. If you're A&T, watch the football. Do not jump off sides.
4 wideouts to the top of your screen. 4th and less than 1.
Hampton,
$1:12 to go in the half.
Hampton has 1 timeout here. So they can't get the Aggies to jump. If they are going to go for it, call that timeout and just punt it away.
Shepard is going to move into the backfield. And that is going to show a 0 on the play clock.
Coach Boynton for Hampton wanted to see if they could get A&T to jump and also run more clock. So you can't get the Aggies to jump off sides, so you punt it away and rely on your defense.
Interestingly enough, though, you took the penalty instead of calling the timeout.
And that, again, play the field position game. Win the kicking game here. If you don't get a good punt, if it's a line drive and it allows for a good return, A&T is going to be in position to, at the very least, get in field goal range.
So far tonight, Starling averaging 38.5 yards per punt on his 2 boots. It'll be Kennedy back deep to receive at his own 30.
We're going to need a good effort here from Brett Starling on this punt for Hampton.
His long this season, registered at 91.
That'll help you average.
Gives this one a ride. Back inside the 20. Kennedy turns upfield, lowers his shoulder, and has decent field position at around the 33.
Kennedy, not a huge guy, but when you got all that momentum, that's called physics.
Yeah.
You got that momentum going forward, lowered the shoulder, and delivered the punishment.
For every action, there is an equal but opposite reaction.
There you go. I think Mr. Newton said that. For A&T, pretty good field position to start the drive. You got 48 seconds left.
3 timeouts.
You know, do you...
And you have Andrew Brown, who has a 52-yarder to his name just a year ago.
You can be aggressive here. Your quarterback, Nelson Lane.
He has shown the ability to throw it deep.
Completed a big pass on the last scoring drive for A&T.
Lane under pressure, throws that one complete at the line of scrimmage, a little bit further behind. That one went to Amonte Jones. And the clock will continue to run.
Aggies in no rush here. If they can get a big chunk of yardage, you'll see those timeouts start to get used.
2nd and 12. Lane under pressure again, flush from the pocket. And he will angle himself just inside the sticks and rush out of bounds. That will stop the clock. And he comes up limping. That's not a good sign.
Lane gutting it out here, understanding like, hey, this is my time. So here for A&T, if you throw the ball and don't pick up this first down, you're going to have to punt it back to Hampton. And
Hampton has a timeout anyway.
They'll use it. Aggies pick up the first on the ground. I call a timeout here.
Shamik Blizzard. his first touch of the evening.
Blizzard got in the end zone, the lone scorer for North Carolina Central last week at UCF. So fresh legs, and Shamik Blizzard picking up that first down.
Shamik Blizzard on the carry.
And it looks like A&T is content heading to the locker room, tied at 10 with the Pirates. Been a big-time defensive ball game with some huge hits in this one. Damian, not a bad home opener for the Aggies in the Sean Gibbs era.
Sorry about that, partner. Yeah, Sean Gibbs has to be happy. You fall behind 10-3, and you come up with a scoring drive to tie things up. You're able to get the ball back, don't allow any more points before halftime. You get it back and start the third.
Let's send it down to Raven Douglas, standing by with Sean Gibbs.
Coach, we're tied at half. What is it going to take in the second half to really make the separator?
We really got to stop beating ourselves. We're turning them loose on offense. We're not executing. We're losing first down. If we can win on first down and not beat ourselves and make tackles on defense, we'll be fine.
Coach, you said you can tell a lot by what you can see in a player's eyes. What do you see in the eyes of your running back that's giving you guys a spark offensively?
Oh, those guys practice like that every day. So, that's what I expect. Them guys are hungry. They're going to run hard. That's what they do. But JT got to put his head down right there and get in the end zone. That shouldn't even be a close call.
Got it. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Raven. Sean Gibbs there looking like Megatron with the sunglasses at night. I'm digging the look from the new A&T head coach as the marching force of Hampton University have taken the field.
Well, this is where the real show starts, partner.
According to some, halftime is game time. We will take a break on that note. 10-10 in Greensboro. We're back after this.
Ford F-150 has power up front and out back. With up to 7.2 kilowatts in the bed, Pro Power Onboard lets you plug in the tools you need and get work done almost anywhere. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
It's Ford Truck Month, and it's the best time to get a great deal on a new Ford truck. From the company that assembles more vehicles, employs more hourly workers, who help make Ford the best-selling truck brand in It's a new year at Green Ford. That means we have new, amazing specials for you. Save $12,400 on the 2024 Ford F-150 STX or finance for $494 per month. Get the 2025 Escape, just $378 per month. Or the 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4-wheel drive automatic, only $403 per month. All come with the Green Ford Advantage. It's a new year at Green Ford. Built Ford proud, staying strong and moving you forward. That's
Hey, thank you very much. My name is Andrew Smith, and I stopped into my local McDonald's to get my 2 favorite breakfast items on the buy one, get one for $1 breakfast meat, a sausage McMuffin, and my hash brown. I'll be back at lunchtime today to get a $5 meal deal featuring a chicken sandwich. Hope to see you in McDonald's soon.
Fact, it's Ford Truck Month, and it's the best time to get a great deal on a new Ford truck. From the company that assembles more vehicles, employs more hourly workers, who help make Ford the best-selling truck brand in.
Let's talk about SAC. SAC stands for Student Athlete Advisory Committee. We get to connect between teams, communities, administration, the CAA conference, and the NCAA.
Our group is comprised of student athletes from different sports who represent the voice, opinions, concerns, and interests of our group.
CAA SAC provides an opportunity to enhance our leadership abilities.
We make an impact on our team.
We make an impact on our campuses.
We make an impact in our communities. We are CAA SAC.
The CAA is
Back with you here in Greensboro, the sounds of the blue and gold marching machine under us. Easily the best band in the land.
Been rocking for about 10 minutes straight here. We're in the booth having a good time.
Well, Damien, 10-10 ball game between Hampton and North Carolina A&T. Your thoughts on half number 1 as we get our North Carolina Education Lottery first half statistics.
Well, my thoughts on half number 1 is 2 teams who come in knowing that, hey, this is a big-time game. We want to win it. A&T got off to a good start, got on a field goal with points. Hampton answered with a touchdown, actually took a 10-3 lead, but kudos to the Aggies for fighting back and tying this ball game up before halftime.
As you see the total yardage on your screen and the blue and gold marching machine making their way off the natural grass surface. We had an extra long halftime here in Greensboro to accommodate both bands that were here. You know that when the HBCUs get together,
Hampton did
there's
their
no
thing.
stopping them.
Hampton did that
they
thing.
Sure did.
A&T,
the marching force did.
A&T, though, you see here in the first half, for Hampton, Isaiah Freeman, he was the story of the half for Hampton. He's him getting sacked there by Dye for A&T, but a field goal there by Brown for the Aggies, putting A&T on the board early, 3-0. But Hampton had the answer, and the answer was in the legs of their quarterback, Isaiah Freeman.
Certainly was. He had 41 yards on that drive on the ground, and then was able to find Tyson Johnson for that touchdown strike. The extra point was good, and Hampton found themselves on top, added a field goal a little bit later, and here's where you and I talked about at halftime, and we agreed. The biggest difference between 2024 North Carolina A&T and 2025 North Carolina A&T is that the Aggies didn't crumble after the Pirates scored on back-to-back possessions. They actually took it on the chin, regrouped, and were able to move down the field and score.
Well, Hampton took that 10-3 lead, and A&T didn't answer immediately. It took a 90-yard drive, but a freshman quarterback, Nelson Lane, getting to the end zone and tying things up here.
We're tied at 10 here in Greensboro. The second half of play coming up next. You're tuned in to Flow College and My 48.
This is the CAA on Flow College.
And we are actually going to stay here as both teams will now enter the field. North Carolina A&T won the toss, and the Aggies will go ahead and receive here in half number 2. So an opportunity for North Carolina A&T to keep that momentum.
We thought that A&T may try to utilize those timeouts late in the second quarter to try to get the ball back to get points on the board before halftime, knowing that they get the ball back to start the third. But nevertheless, you want to see a good return here for head coach Sean Gibbs and North Carolina A&T to get this drive started.
And how about this? Logan Lopez actually coming on to kick this one off for Hampton. So a change at kicker as Brett Starling will not get the call here in half number 2.
Starling did kick one out of bounds in the first half. Not sure if that's something injury-wise or is that head coach Trent Boykin saying, like, hey, if you don't produce, we'll get someone out there that can.
Aaron Harris and Elijah Kennedy back deep for North Carolina A&T as the Pirates will kick from north to south to open up half number 2. Lopez, end over end. Harris will field it at the 2. He'll take it up the seam. Now curl towards the middle. Drag down from behind. The ball is on the deck. And they'll call it down by contact. So the Aggies with a break to open up half number 2.
Aaron Harris trying to make something happen. Tries to bounce it to the left sideline. Called down as the ball squirts loose late.
First and 10 from the 15 for North Carolina A&T. And it looks like Noah Sanders will be the quarterback on this drive. You have to wonder, is Nelson Lane going to be able to return? He came up limping on that last drive, and he's actually on the bike on the near sideline right now trying to stay loose.
And that's not a good sight if you're North Carolina A&T. You're down to Noah Sanders at quarterback after Nelson Lane got hit pretty good on that targeting penalty, able to come back from that. You saw him when he went to the sideline late in the first half coming out limping. Now, like you mentioned, on the bike, you got Noah Sanders here trying to move the offense for North Carolina A&T.
So the Delaware transfer will work with trips to the top of the screen, 2nd and long for North Carolina A&T. 10 on the play clock. Turns, tucks, runs, spins, and is north of the 15, in between the sticks, and taken down at the 17.
And this is going to change your frame of mind if you're head coach Sean Gibbs and the offensive staff for A&T. You're down to Sanders. You know, I'm starting to wonder, like, how many plays does Sanders know in the playbook for the quarterback position? We know he plays wide receiver as well.
I mean, you're down to QB number 7 if you're North Carolina A&T right now.
So if you're the Aggies, you got to lean on that run game. And the offensive line, you have to understand, probably not going to be throwing the ball all that much.
The handoff to Blizzard, and that road is closed.
Blizzard gets as much as he can on 3rd down there.
That'll put a 4 in the box, and DJ Page will make his way back to kick this one away to Donovan Shepard.
That's a quick 3 and out to start the 3rd quarter for A&T, but you can't blame them. You're down to your, 6th quarterback so far for the Aggies? The 7th quarterback for North Carolina A&T. So keeping the ball on the ground, staying conservative, try to let your defense play.
Big time boot from Page. Fair catch signaled for. Shepard struggles with it, able to fall forward with the rock in his hand, and will keep possession. It'll be Hampton football at the 41-yard line, and we are now joined in the booth by the commissioner of the CAA, Joe D'Antonio. Joey D, the commish, welcome in.
Thank you for having me into the booth. It's a pleasure to be here with you folks tonight.
Of course, of course. You're the man that's everywhere. I'm really starting to wonder if there's like 15 of you out there. You are at every event, every game. It is remarkable how well you are able to represent the conference in so many different places. I'm really not sure you've been home in about a month and a half already.
Well, the season's off to a big start. I certainly appreciate that. It's there's nothing more fun in terms of the job than getting out to our campuses and being at events.
Well, you've got the 2 CAA HBCUs opening things up for you here tonight. The CAA Game of the Week that's streamed on YouTube as well as in addition to Flow College. The Aggies taking full advantage of the local TV rights, putting the game on here in the Triad area on My 48. When you see one of your universities using the TV contract that you've established to their advantage, what does that say to you?
Well, it shows that we've established a triumvirate of opportunities for our institutions as it relates to our TV contracts, and this is exactly what we had hoped would happen. That as schools understood the options that were available to them, exactly what you just explained is what we would hope would happen. and it provides all of our programs with a tremendous opportunity for visibility.
Moss able to bring that ball up to right around midfield. It will bring up 3rd and 3.
Big third down here defensively for A&T and for Hampton. They want to keep this drive alive, understanding that they are playing a wounded team here in A&T.
Freeman, quarterback keeper, has the first down and more. Down the sideline, Freeman into the red zone, and the Pirates keep the drive alive.
There's Isaiah Freeman again, almost a buck on the ground in the first half. Another big gainer for Isaiah Freeman. You see him using his legs there to pick up the first down.
Oh, Commissioner, you've got 2 teams here that are going to be a part of something really exciting later in the year on the men's basketball side. Not to take away too much from this football game, but both of these squads playing in the HBCU event at All-Star Weekend for the NBA. What does that mean to the conference?
Wow, just a tremendous opportunity for the conference to partner with the leader, obviously, in basketball, the NBA, and we can't thank them enough for the opportunity. And I know we're going to have 2 of our great institutions representing the CAA out in that game. It's going to be a really exciting time, and certainly for the fans of both institutions, if they're able to get out there, I think it's certainly a trip worth taking.
That is for sure, as there's a late flag that has been thrown on the field after the Snipes rush, and he has been relatively quiet tonight back in his quote-unquote homecoming here in the Triad area.
Well, Hampton hadn't really had to use Snipes much on the ground. They're really making up for it with the quarterback play on the ground with Isaiah Freeman. Freeman is getting loose in the secondary a ton here in this ball game for Hampton.
So our referee, Anthony Florio, is chatting with his crew, and we'll try and sort things out. We'll tune into the white cap.
After the play was over, personal foul, defense, number 44.
And that's something that you can't have if you're A&T. You know that you're going to be playing really conservatively offensively for the remainder of this ball game. You don't want to hurt yourself by giving your opponents free yards, and sometimes emotions can run high on the field. Those are 15 yards that are basically given to your opponent and helping them get into this red zone.
That is for sure. Well, Commish, you've been all over the place. It's been a long start to the athletics year. When you see A&T and Hampton now trying to really blend in here in the CAA when it comes to style of play with football, it's a process, but do you feel like the Aggies and the Pirates are now getting their feet under them and are truly members of the CAA football conference?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head that it is a process and nothing's going to happen overnight, but I really feel with the leadership at both institutions, it starts with the presidents right down to the athletic directors, 2 tremendous coaches in this game for their teams. And I really feel, top to bottom around the conference, that all of our programs are committed to being competitive. Now, it's going to happen for different programs on a different time schedule. So what I think is most important is that commitment level that we see, and we know we have that around the conference.
Shepard gets stopped. It will bring up 3rd and goal from the 7.5.
And Commish, you talk about the conference, and me growing up, CAA was known as one of the premier conferences in what was then the 1AA football. So how do you keep your good teams at home and not have them leave the conference?
Well, there's a lot of factors that play into why folks have decided to leave, and some of it's in our control. Most of it, however, though, is out of our control, unfortunately. Institutions are going to make decisions that are in their best interest, and at our level, we can only control what we can control. And this is what I know, that within our conference, the commitment that I just talked about is there. We're playing a very high brand of football. We expect to compete on a year-in and year-out basis for multiple playoff spots. And even with the teams that are leaving, there's no doubt in my mind that's going to continue to happen.
Big time moment in this football game.
Yeah,
4th and
big
goal
play right here
from the 2 after Freeman got tossed ahead towards the goal line.
If you're Hampton, why wouldn't you go for it here?
Freeman, quarterback keeper. Can he get the pylon? He reaches, and he's in! Touchdown, Pirates! Isaiah Freeman sails into the corner of the end zone.
There you see Isaiah Freeman just trusting his athleticism. One thing that he had in mind was get to the corner. Pretty good block on the outside by the tight end. A small tug on the jersey, but nothing that's too egregious, and Isaiah Freeman uses that athleticism and lets the fans here in Greensboro know about it.
Page on for the extra point in what has been a very competitive football game on the east side of Greensboro. The Aggies trying to beat the Pirates for the first time since 2016. That extra point is true, and it is 17-10. Hampton on top of North Carolina A&T at Truist Stadium. We'll take a timeout. The commish will hang out for another drive, I hope.
Sure, absolutely.
And we'll be back after this on Flow College.
It's a new year at Green Ford. That means we have new, amazing specials for you. Save $12,400 on the 2024 Ford F-150 STX or finance for $494 per month. Get the 2025 Escape, just $378 per month. Or the 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4-wheel drive automatic, only $403 per month. All come with the Green Ford Advantage. It's a new year at Green Ford. Built Ford proud, staying strong and moving you forward. That's Green Ford.
On Flow College.
Back with you here in Greensboro. The marching force getting after it on the opposing sideline. You got to love when the opposing band makes the trip to Greensboro. It just adds so much to the environment. And you know what? Not a lot of people know this in the CAA, so we'll give them a little HBCU 101,
Shall we?
The bands typically at HBCU football games don't stop playing. They will play through the offensive play and not stop. And so it has been an adjustment for the band directors moving to the conference. The rules are the rules, and they will be enforced. Unlike a couple of other conferences at this level that maybe enforcement is selective.
Well, it's not polite to play during your opponent's offensive possession. But again, in HBCU football, that's customary. We let the bands play.
So
we've tried to find a nice happy medium,
Yes.
but I will tell you, the bands tonight have been on their best behavior.
Yeah, they have. It's been a close football game.
And the halftime show was spectacular.
Yes, it was.
By both bands.
And we'll speak for everybody here. We appreciate the CAA allowing both schools to extend halftime here tonight to let both bands perform. As Aaron Harris will bring this ball ahead. He'll work up the sideline, has some room, and is tripped up on his tippy toes at around the 35-yard line. So Aaron Harris able to go into the positive portion of field position on that one. Better than that touchback. You see Aaron Harris, he's got that explosive speed, Damian.
A pretty good return there from Aaron Harris as the kick goes up the right sideline. And what that does is that allows you with your, seventh quarterback to get some breathing room. You know, you're probably not going to put the ball in the air too much with A&T. You're going to have to run the football. You're going to have to bow up, man up on the line of scrimmage, and create holes for your running backs. So good starting field position.
The motion man is Jones. Quarterback keeper, Sanders, through the middle, takes a lick and is dropped at around the 38. The commissioner, Joe D'Antonio, still joining us here in the booth. Commissioner, it seems like every day something is changing in college athletics. The CAA was one of the first FCS conferences and one of the first conferences as a whole to commit to the House settlement. As a leader in FCS in terms of conferences, how important was it to get the CAA publicly out there to accept the House settlement so early?
Well, I give our presidents and athletic directors an awful lot of credit in the discussions that we had. I think you've hit the nail on the head. We are in an ever-changing environment within college athletics, and if you're going to remain, just missed him.
Just past the outstretched arms of Amante Jones as Noah Sanders trying to go for the deep ball.
But, it goes back to what we've been talking about is the commitment from the top to bottom in the conference to wanting to be competitive in this ever-changing landscape. And the thing is, just because an institution has opted into the house settlement doesn't mean you need to do A, B, C, and D. Now, some schools may make those choices. But in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of our athletic directors and presidents, you need it, and chancellors, you needed to have those options at your disposal in this new world order of Division I. And that's why we did what we did and came out with the statement so early that our institutions were opting in.
3rd and 5 for North Carolina A&T. Sanders will roll out under pressure, gets rid of it down the sideline. And there was a lot of green grass there, but he should have been far enough out of the pocket that will not cause the laundry to be dropped on the field. So the Pirates still leading here by 7. Well, Commissioner, I think it's on the minds of a lot of people. You've had some entrances into the conference. Sacred Heart will be making its way to the conference next year. Bryant, one of the newer members, went and beat an FBS squad here. What's next for the CAA? Are you always on the hunt for that next school to come and join the conference?
Well, it's a really good question. Membership is something that we're constantly evaluating, looking at with our presidents and athletic directors. And the line that I like to say, because it is true, is we're going to continue to make decisions that are in the best interest of the conference going forward. You mentioned the addition of Sacred Heart. You mentioned the addition of Bryant. Those are 2 football-only members, right? Members into the football conference. But what we know about both of those institutions is they are committed to being competitive. They're committed to being successful in this new order of Division I intercollegiate athletics. And you mentioned, what Bryant did last week, and that is, I called the coach and the athletic director right after that win. I wasn't at that game, and what I said to them is, this is why we do what we do. Okay, because moments like that are possible when you make a commitment, and Bryant has certainly made a commitment in football to being competitive, and they're going to be a force in this conference.
Well, Commissioner, we always appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for being here tonight. Great to catch up as always, and I'm sure we will see you during men's basketball season. I know we will see you in Los Angeles in February.
That's correct. Great to be with you guys. Appreciate all you do. Thank you.
The Commissioner, Joe D'Antonio, joining us up here in the booth as the Hampton Pirates will take back over on offense. It'll bring up 2nd and about 8.
Noah Sanders just missed a big throw there on that last possession for A&T. Although he didn't complete the pass, that gives Hampton something to think about the next time that A&T has the football. If the Aggies defense can just keep them in the ball game, keep it a 1-score game, give their offense a chance.
Freeman over the middle, and that one was in the vicinity of Kamari Blankumsey, and no Hampton Pirates.
One thing that we have not seen so far in this ball game is a turnover.
No.
Usually change of possession, creating additional opportunities for your offense, getting turnovers, and that's something that A&T may have to do defensively here, especially if they're not going to be able to consistently stop Isaiah Freeman in this Hampton run game. Big 3rd down here on the defensive side for A&T. Got to be aware of Freeman's legs.
Freeman under pressure, breaks free, still giving chase are the Aggies, and that will bring up 4th down as Tim Alderman was able to close the door.
Big stop there for A&T to get the ball back to their offense, and I think that Hampton understands, like, hey, we don't have to do anything crazy offensively. We know that the Aggies are down to their 7th quarterback, so they're going to have to really do something extraordinary to put points on the board with someone who is not accustomed to being at that quarterback position, Noah Sanders. So let's just keep it conservative, see if we can pick up the 1st down with our quarterback. If not, punt the ball away and play defense.
I mean, listen, Noah Sanders showed that he has the arm to throw it downfield. But if you're Sean Gibbs, you have to be wondering what you did to be down to your 7th quarterback. And I mean that with no disrespect to Noah Sanders. He's a Division I quarterback, came from a great program in Delaware. And now there's a whistle on the field.
Yeah, so now he was telling his guys to get out of the way, and I think the officials signaled that as a fair catch, and that's a new rule. If you make any type of hand gesture now, it's a fair catch.
That is one of the points of emphasis this season.
How about the commish?
Listen, it's always great when Joey D stops by. Appreciate him coming through.
Only you can call him Joey D. I was going to say that, but I was like, I'll let Spencer say it first.
He really is everywhere. You name it. It doesn't matter the type of sport. If the CAA sponsors it, he really tries to get to every single school for some type of athletic event.
And that's how it has to be. If you're
that's it.
A commissioner of a conference, you can't, just be at, the quote-unquote sexy schools or the upper echelon schools. This is a great game on the field, and I'm sure TV numbers are really good for Hampton and A&T.
Oh, I mean, listen, they're tuning into us. I'm just saying. Obviously, I'm kidding, but
I set you up there, partner.
the play on the field has been really good so far. Both teams getting it done. Dillard tries to spin out of trouble, has nowhere to go as the Pirates were swarming. This Pirates defense, I mean, listen, I know that they're used to being out at sea, but they're looking like sharks.
I like that. But I think Hampton understands, like, A&T is down to their, again, 7th quarterback. So they don't think that Noah Sanders can hurt them with his arm. So, hey, we're going to play close to the line of scrimmage, and we'll see if you can throw over the top and complete passes if you're Noah Sanders.
Sanders, 3rd and long. Pressure in his face, batted down, and that will end the threat. As MJ Moultrie II came in with his hands up and did exactly what he was coached to do, and that is knock the football down.
You see Nelson Lane still on that bike. He's trying to keep his limbs loose. I saw him jogging on the sideline. Didn't look great in the jog. You see Noah Sanders still in the game for A&T at the quarterback position. So it's going to be Noah Sanders from here on out. So defensively, A&T has to understand that and continue to play pretty good defense like they've been playing all game long.
What a punt by DJ Page. Inside the 5 is where the Aggies will down it as we head to a timeout in Greensboro. 17-10, Hampton on top. We're back after these messages on Flow College and My 48.
It's a new year at Green Ford. That means we have new, amazing specials for you. Save $12,400 on the 2024 Ford F-150 STX or finance for $494 per month. Get the 2025 Escape, just $378 per month. Or the 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4-wheel drive automatic, only $403 per month. All come with the Green Ford Advantage. It's a new year at Green Ford. Built Ford proud, staying strong and moving you forward. That's Green Ford.
On Flow College.
With high energy, letting his team know that if you want to be great, stay right here. They're not going to let you be average here. Well, I've heard the path to greatness starts with the fundamentals, and that's exactly what the Aggies prioritized in preparation for today. Practice was filled with a focus on run fits, knowing where to send the ball, and the tackling basics. Coach knows today tackling is important and blocking is important, especially against this Hampton team who has the best running offense in the conference. Last season, they had 2,574 yards, averaging 195.8 per game. Back to you guys.
Well, 127 yards on the ground so far for the Pirates.
And a lot of it, legs of their quarterback, Isaiah Freeman. Now, Hampton's going to run the football, especially right now in the shadows of their own end zone.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 5 as that play almost busted up, and Freeman able to escape on the option. And he is out to the 10. My goodness, what a shot back there as Ja'Key Chavis took one for the team.
Yeah, Chavis blasted.
That's a great pull, though, by Freeman.
Almost broke up that play completely. That could have been disaster on the goal line for Hampton.
Instead, it's 2nd and 4 from the 11. Much different situation. Freeman rolling out, throws on the run, completes the pass to Moss. He gets ripped down, and it appears that Tyler Howard will avoid the horse collar tackle.
But it will be a first down for Hampton.
Stop made by number 30.
And got his
Tyler Howard.
Arm up around the shoulder pad, so clean tackle, first down for Hampton.
First down and 10 for Hampton.
It's up to the defense for A&T here. Fast-moving third quarter to keep the Aggies in the ball game.
Freeman tosses to the sideline, almost picked off. Instead, it's Chavis up the sideline and angled out of bounds. Wow, a game of centimeters.
Aaron Harris had his eyes on a pick six. He saw the play happening as Freeman dropped back to throw it. I don't know how Aaron Harris didn't pick this one off.
And what a shot by our crew.
Yeah, just before Aaron Harris got there. That's a big play for Hampton.
1st and 10 from the 37. Freeman tucks, runs. He's met at the 39 and brought to the ground by a pack of Aggies. Someone's helmet popped off. I believe it's Freeman, which means that he has to sit out a play.
Freeman is...
He was hoping there was going to be a penalty, which would have led to him being able to stay on, but instead... It should be Braden Davis coming on to lead the offense. Let's see.
Well, Isaiah Freeman has been toting that rock all night long for Hampton.
It's actually going to be Earl Woods the third. So the technical third-string quarterback is going to come on right now. 2nd and long. The keeper through the middle to the 45, and Woods the third is to the 46, and that will bring up 3rd and 2 as Freeman is able to come on, and he is pumped up for his backup.
That's a good game.
That's a big-time play for the Hampton Pirates to be able to have your backup come in ready to go.
Earl Woods the third, not Tiger's dad. Sets up 3rd and short here for Hampton.
Chavis stopped short of the first down marker. The Aggies able to take care of business in the trenches.
And what usually has been a Isaiah Freeman keeper for Hampton, they put it in the belly of Chavis, and Chavis runs into a host of Aggies.
Marley Gordy was the guy who stood up Elijah Blow, and that is what blew up the play.
And that's, again, a win defensively for A&T. Now, Hampton has an opportunity to flip the field. They got the ball to start their drive on about the 3-yard line now, punting from probably their own 32-yard line. They can flip the field. They consider it a win.
Kennedy retreating back to his 10. Able to slip around some coverage, and he is brought down at the 12 as that Hampton punt coverage team able to rush down the field and clog up the lanes.
Good punt, good coverage. A&T still not paying too deep to where they can't operate their offense. But again, they're limited offensively with Noah Sanders at quarterback. So if you're the coaching staff at A&T, you know you want to run the football. It's still time to run the football to tie this ball game up. But Noah Sanders may have to complete a couple of passes here as we wind down the third quarter and head to the fourth.
A very quick third quarter. Sanders working as the signal caller. The handoff goes to Graves. He gets upended and will tumble down at the 16.
And I think that A&T will be conservative as long as it's a one-possession football game. I don't think that they're going to do anything crazy. Keep it a one-possession game, and then, hopefully in the fourth quarter you find that drive to where you can tie it up.
I got to tell you, Hampton is no stranger to being in close games. Lost 5 games by 6 points or less last year. Graves gets the call again, able to gain a few up to the 19. And then, Damian, I'm not sure that's going to be enough for the Aggies to do what they want to do in this game. I feel like they're going to need a big-time run at some point to break free.
They're going to have to throw the football as well. Unless you're completely dominating at the line of scrimmage with the run game, you're going to have to throw if you're A&T. Good third quarter for Hampton there.
We head to the fourth quarter in Greensboro. We're back after this.
Significant changes in my skin. Good Molecules is everything.
My skin looks flawless. My skin is just glowing, and who doesn't want that?
Good Molecules made an amazing difference in my skin. My skin has glowed up completely.
Hyperpigmentation cleared up a lot. My skin tone is a lot smoother.
I've truly seen a difference in my skin. Now I have confidence, and now I'm glowing.
I feel confident in my skin once again, thanks to Good Molecules.
Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Smith, and I popped into my local McDonald's to get my 2 favorite breakfast items on the buy one, get one for $1 breakfast meat, a sausage McMuffin, and my hash brown. I'll be back at lunchtime today to get a $5 meal deal featuring a chicken sandwich. Hope to see you at McDonald's soon.
.232 yards of total offense for Isaiah Freeman as he has been balanced between his passing and his rushing. After a week which saw just 59 pass yards for the Hampton offense, Hampton now with 109 through the air. The Pirates will now be charged with trying to keep this A&T offense at bay. Led by Noah Sanders. The handoff. A&T stays on the ground. Looks like they have the first down.
That's a big first down offensively for A&T to pick it up on the ground. And again, it's only a one-score ball game, so you don't have to panic if you're the Aggies. If you could man up and block them up front and run the football, they'd love to do that, not put the ball in the harm's way with the 7th-string quarterback in Noah Sanders. It's hard to say that out loud.
It's crazy.
And it's no disrespect to Noah Sanders.
No, listen, he's a Division I quarterback, period. The handoff to Graves. Not a lot of running room. As he gains about a yard, it'll bring up 2nd and 9. The one thing I'll say about tonight, Damian, is on both sides, the running backs have been kept in check.
And that's a kudos to the front 7 defensively for both ball clubs. And, with Hampton coming in, they've been giving up over 220 yards rushing per ball game in the first 2 games of the season, and they've really shut down the run attack pretty much for A&T in this ball game. Only 109 yards rushing so far for A&T.
Quarterback keeper. And it was Smith who was the Wildcat quarterback on that one.
See the defensive front for Hampton again. Mekakar Bordeaux. What a name.
When you are down to your 7th-string quarterback, you have to try new things. And the Wildcat offense, just another wrinkle. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Obvious passing down. I mean, you have to pass it here. Let's see what A&T can do.
Sanders gives it up. He's got Smith, and he is barreled over by 5 Pirates. They just threw him overboard.
That's the second one in less than 20 minutes. I like that, partner. But again, limited offensively is Noah Sanders, and it's not because he's not a good player, but how much has he actually practiced at quarterback as Noah Sanders?
As the A&T offense quarterback, not very much. He's been practicing as a scout team quarterback.
Right, so, the playbook is limited for Sanders, knowing that you may see some action if you have an injury.
That one got tipped and will be a short punt, as Hampton now has brought the house on 2 straight punts, and this time it paid off. Hampton will have the football at the A&T 42.
And Hampton senses.
Oh, check that. They're going to keep it moving now inside the 40 to the 38.
Hampton sensing that, hey, if we could just get another score, it doesn't even have to be a touchdown. Just get a field goal on the board to make it a 2-score ball game. We don't think that offensively A&T will be able to score those 10 points and we'll win this game.
Is this where they make the Aggies walk the plank?
Stop, man. I mean, that's the 3rd one now.
Those things come in 3s. I'm done for the night.
Okay, cool. But again, Hampton playing the game smartly, doesn't have to do anything extravagant. Run the football. You're already up a score in this game. Take some time off the clock, pound the rock, get into field goal range at the very least. And if Hampton's able to get a touchdown and make it a 14-point ball game, it's going to be awfully difficult for A&T to make a comeback here.
It'll bring up 2nd and 8 after the Snipes rush. That's a young man who's been through a lot. Ended up at Hampton with 1 scholarship remaining when he enrolled. Was a late addition. Came off some major injuries in high school. Was being recruited by ACC squads. Ended up at Hampton. Got stuck behind a bunch of running backs. As that one is hauled in.
This pass is complete to number 2.
By Anthony Hightower.
And that's the first really deep pass that Hampton has attempted in quite some time. They've been content on keeping the ball on the ground, and that's a big first down for the Pirates. Puts them well within field goal range.
Hard count for the Pirates. But back to Snipes. Got stuck behind a log jam at Hampton. Didn't really see the field after some injuries. Played last year in this matchup. Had that breakout game. Ended up being Hampton's leading rusher. Decides to come back, go to graduate school, and play another season. Freeman, the keeper, and he is angled out of bounds into the Aggie sideline, and a collision on the side, I believe, with one of our photographers, actually. Hope everybody's okay.
One of our camera guys, technical event management.
Aaron Harris was the person who escorted Freeman out of bounds. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 as time continues to tick here, as this rushing game of Hampton operates at a pretty steady pace.
He's going to take a turnover here for
Freeman,
the Aggies.
The toss, and that'll get knocked away as Johnson was the intended receiver.
That's what's going to have to happen. Someone has to make a play for North Carolina A&T. It's probably going to have to be on the defensive side of the ball.
I think we're going to get a look at that out-of-bounds play as Freeman came storming into our camera.
Being a cameraman is a hazardous job.
Boom.
Objects appear closer.
It's okay.
We hope that
he's a hockey player.
Young man's okay. Yeah.
He's a hockey player. Freeman on third down over the middle. That one broken up by Blankumsey with a big-time hit.
Blankumsey met the ball at the right time. And that's going to be fourth down here for Hampton. It's going to force a field goal attempt, and it's no gimme from this distance.
Ferguson was the intended receiver, as Blankumsey tracked the ball the entire way. And now the field goal unit is on. Page getting set for a 33-yard attempt from just inside the left hash. And this one is good. Tack on 3 more for the Pirates. It's 20-10 with 10-12 to go. Hampton on top on the road.
That's a big 3 points for Hampton to make it a 2-score ball game.
We take a timeout here in Greensboro. We'll be back after these messages on Flow College and My 48.
It's a new year at Green Ford. That means we have new, amazing specials for you. Save $12,400 on the 2024 Ford F-150 STX or finance for $494 per month. Get the 2025 Escape, just $378 per month. Or the 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4-wheel drive automatic, only $403 per month. All come with the Green Ford Advantage. It's a new year at Green Ford. Built Ford proud, staying strong and moving you forward. That's Green Ford.
On Flow College.
Back with you here in Greensboro. The 33-yard field goal capped off a 6-play, 22-yard drive in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. As we get a look at Isaiah Freeman doing what he does best, and that's running, but he goes right into a member of our crew.
Taking one for the team. What a play there. I think that's the only person on the field that has stopped Isaiah Freeman so far tonight.
Oh, man. And you give me a hard time about my jokes.
That's not a joke. I mean, he has 100 and some odd yards rushing from the quarterback position. Heck of a night on the ground by Isaiah Freeman.
128 to be exact.
Now opportunity for A&T to get the ball back offensively. Now you're down 2 scores.
Pooch kick. And that one going to stay in bounds. Has to get picked up by Kennedy. And he cannot outrun the coverage of the Pirates. And the Aggies are going to have a long way to the end zone after that mishap.
And that's good coaching there by Hampton. And with the Pooch kick, leaving A&T a bit surprised there. And now you're going to be backed up. Opportunity for Hampton to really put a stranglehold on A&T here. The Aggies still enough time left in the game for a comeback. Probably going to have to put the ball in the air. You can't rely on the run. Let's see what Noah Sanders can do here. backed up near your own goal line.
So it will be 1st and 10 from the 12, so 88 yards to pay dirt for the Aggies. And that is not the start to the drive that A&T was looking for, as the Pirates blasting through.
And I understand that Hampton knows that A&T is going to have to run the football, but again, A&T, you know you have to run the football, so offensive linemen, you got to fire off that ball and try to create some type of lane for your run game. That's just a heck of a play in the backfield.
Ja'Kai Vaughn, the freshman.
Yeah, Vaughn making the play for Hampton.
Hampton has won 3 in a row against the Aggies, 7 of the last 10. The Pirates also hold the advantage in the series here in Greensboro. The jump ball for Warren. He tries to retreat back for it and cannot. Sanders has either been a little too long or a little too short and has not been able to just drop it in.
I'm not sure if Noah Sanders was trying to back shoulder fade it there or just didn't get enough on that throw, but nevertheless setting up 3rd and very long here for North Carolina A&T.
Well, the Aggies have kept HBCU opponents on their schedule since leaving the MEAC. They're 5-7 in these games, and right now maybe going 5-8. Sanders, the keeper, not a lot of real estate, and he is stood up and brought down as Cam Sturdivant, the junior from Richmond, Virginia, there on the stop. And that will put a 4 in the box, and the punt unit will be out with a chance for the Pirates to have some pretty good field position to put the nail in the coffin in this one.
A&T limited again offensively with Noah Sanders. Playbook is not going to be fully open for Sanders, and you're not trying to run on the football, and if you can't run it, you're going to be in deep trouble if you're A&T.
That one took a Hampton roll. Flags came flying in all over the place. We've got one at the 38 of Hampton. We've got another one around the 40, and we've got one at the 15. So this should be interesting.
We'll see what the call is on the field, but for A&T, you need a spark somewhere. On defense, you get a turnover, you claw at that ball, you maybe get a peanut punch in, try to strip the ball away from the ball carrier, but you need a spark. Someone needs to make a play for A&T to try to turn this thing around. And Hampton, just do what you've been doing. You're running the football, you're not putting it in harm's way all that much. You got in field goal range on your last drive to make it a 2-score ball game. You don't have to throw the ball here if you don't want to. If you're Hampton, run the football. If you pick up first downs, great. If not, punt it and play defense.
So the officials are still discussing what's going on. They've brought Sean Gibbs into the conversation, which means he has a decision to make.
And Coach Gibbs searching for answers for North Carolina A&T, and you got to feel for him. You don't go into the season, with the contingency plan for all these injuries at the quarterback position.
Oh, how about this? Illegal equipment, 2 players with the same number out on the field. This is the 2nd game in a row that I've been at that happened. Illinois, Duke last week, there were 2 number 8s on the field for a special teams play.
You had to mention Illinois.
And now A&T Hampton, there were 2 number 5s out on the field in that play. That's stuff you see on video.
I mean, you'd be surprised how many players don't know all the rules. I mean, you'd be surprised. And again, you're playing, so your head's probably not in it, so that's kind of on.
That's on a grad assistant, probably. Not to throw a grad assistant under the bus.
I didn't want to say that, but that's on a coach that's making his bones, so to speak, which AKA is a grad assistant.
So that will probably be a point of conversation upon return to the 757 for the Hampton staff.
First down and 10 for Hampton.
Right now, Hampton in the driver's seat. That penalty backs you up, but that's not your concern. Your concern is running clock. Got 8:31 left in the fourth. Running this football, keeping the ball out of harm's way. A&T has to come up with a turnover here.
Freeman dropping back, pump fakes, tosses down the sideline, and throws a little too far back from Maxwell Moss. So far tonight, Moss with 3 grabs for 30 yards.
North Carolina A&T again. Defensively, I think the Aggies have played pretty well. They're limited offensively. Hampton hadn't been great throwing the football, hadn't needed to throw the football all that much with the running game and Isaiah Freeman getting loose from his quarterback position. But A&T has fought hard defensively. Offense just not able to keep up with the Aggies.
Snipes on the carry, and there is a Pirate down. They're going to blow the whistle for Amari Allen. He came up holding his shoulder, but appears to be okay. It's interesting. You look at this A&T defense. They gave up 252 total yards against Tennessee State in the opener, lost by 3. Tonight, allowing right around 280 yards of offense to Hampton, down by 10. You take out the UCF game against an FBS opponent, it seems like this A&T team has definitely taken a step forward. It just doesn't seem like that's translating into a W here early, but you have to learn how to win.
Well, defensively, you're right, partner. A&T hadn't played terrible in this ball game. Offense just hadn't been able to sustain drives and, put major points on the board, get a big stop there on 3rd down. Does A&T, but, offensively is where A&T is going to have to figure things out, not only the remainder of this game, but going forward.
Well, the Aggies taking advantage of that 10-yard penalty on the punt return, able to put up a 3-and-out, and A&T will get the ball back with 3 timeouts as the clock continues to tick down 2 possessions.
And if you're North Carolina A&T, you're going to have to throw the football, but again, that will put your back up against the wall and force you to do something that you're uncomfortable doing, and you never know who can make a play for you.
Deep punt. Kennedy retreating. A flag has been tossed out at the 21. Kennedy switching field, breaking free, still working, and he is now up to the 25. But I have to assume that this one is coming back, as the A&T staff does not look pleased with some of the folks on the field right now.
Looks like this good return. Kennedy is going to be coming back. Kudos to Elijah Kennedy. He has taken his opportunities on punt return and run that rock really hard, but A&T is going to need something, a big play offensively here on this drive. You got 6:39 left. Maybe switch it up, go into your 2-minute drill. And that's if Noah Sanders knows the 2-minute drill. It's just really difficult right now for A&T offensively with their quarterback situation.
And let's face it, penalties like that, sending your offense deep into its own territory, it's not helping the situation.
Well, you never want to beat yourself, and especially when, you're fighting that injury bug at the arguably the most important position in sports, the quarterback position. So, you know what you're up against offensively. You don't want to hurt yourself with penalties.
It's 1st and 10 from the 4-yard line for A&T. Graves will take the handoff, is north of the 5, dropped at the 6. He was skating on that goal line there and didn't turn upfield until the very last second.
And Graves, you mentioned skating on that goal line. He gets it out. A little bit of breathing room here for A&T.
Second and 7 now for the Aggies. Option to the short side of the field as Sanders gets stood up and loses his helmet.
So if Sanders loses his helmet, he has to come out of the ball game.
So I would assume that means J.T. Smith will come in as the Wildcat option. And here he comes. But that's a risky play call.
But what else can, other than hand the ball off to your running back? You could throw it. You definitely could throw it if you're North Carolina A&T, but hadn't had a ton of success throwing the football with Noah Sanders.
I mean, you have to start throwing, though. There's 5:49 and ticking left. You're down 2 possessions. At some point, you got to move down the field. You started this one 96 yards away from the end zone.
True indeed. But at this point of the ball game, you're looking, if you're a play caller, like, are you comfortable with Noah Sanders dropping back or catching it in shotgun in the end zone? You don't want to get sacked for a safety. You don't want to turn the ball over down towards the goal line. So you're in between a rock and a hard place.
It's a bad spot to be. Like, let's not sugarcoat this, right? I mean, I do not envy Sean Gibbs at this moment.
But again,
I just don't.
Coach Gibbs, how can you anticipate multiple injuries at the quarterback position? You have a plan for your backup. You don't have a plan for the 7th-string quarterback. So, it's going to limit you offensively if you're North Carolina A&T and Hampton, understanding that, they've been pinning their ears back and to play that run, not really fearing the pass. So A&T right now in a tough spot.
Well, the Aggies want to talk it over, so they called the timeout. It will be 3rd and 6 for North Carolina A&T. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Sanders rolls out, throws towards the sideline, and that will go off the hands of Jones and fall incomplete.
Tried to roll Noah Sanders out so he can have an option to either run it or throw it. Tries to flick it for the first down. Not a bad effort. Good defense there on the outside. Hampton. Cam Sturdivant. That's going to force a punt from North Carolina A&T.
The punt by Page will roll out of bounds at around the 42, and now a late flag comes flying in at the 27. That one came in all the way from the 50-yard line. The official on that one looked like a quarterback. My goodness, maybe he's got eligibility left for Sean Gibbs.
And not quite sure what the call is, you mentioned.
Wow.
Flag came in from the 50 and a spiral at that.
That might have been one of the best throws we've seen all day.
And we'll see what the call is. But again, Hampton doesn't need any help. If you're going to give them yardage if you're A&T, but we'll see what the call is. But, I got to give kudos to Hampton coming into this ball game. Sean Gibbs, home opener. That's going to back up the Pirates, but a lot of anticipation for Coach Gibbs to return here to Greensboro. And A&T in the first half played well, tie ball game, but you lose your quarterback due to injury, and the freshman Nelson Lane, who was the 6th quarterback that you've used here in Greensboro. So now you rely on that defense to try to keep you in the game. And the defense for A&T has played well, but Hampton has come up with the answers, and that answer is Isaiah Freeman on the ground, 124 yards rushing and a touchdown for the senior quarterback from Hampton.
And I believe that one came in from side judge Kyle Murray. That was an unbelievable toss. My goodness.
Looked more like Kyler Murray.
Right. I'm like, wow. All right, so first and 10. Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah, okay.
Wasn't sure it was worth acknowledgement, but I saw what you did.
I need adulation. I need it. I crave it.
First and 10 from the 48. The Pirates will keep this one on the ground. Snipes into Aggie territory. And he is chopped down at the 46. And now Snipes starting to get going a little bit, able to get those 4, 5, 6 yard chunks that he's used to earning.
Well, Hampton is going to keep the ball on the ground. No need to throw it, just in case you want to work on something. You may throw it, but keep the ball on the ground. You're up 10, 5-minute mark. Just run the ball, win the ball game, and go home.
Oh, you've seen the movie Friday Night Lights, I'm assuming, when the Carter Cowboys are in the state championship game and their head coach does the little finger twirl and keep it moving. That's exactly what Hampton's going to be doing here.
Yeah, same thing. Just run the ball, turn around, hand it off to Snipes or Shepard or the bevy of running backs that are in the ball that have been in this ball game for Hampton.
You definitely don't want Freeman running it at this point. No reason to put him at risk.
No reason, especially, with a 2-score ball game. But again, a 3rd and short here. If you're A&T, you're still thinking stop. As long as it's time on the clock, you're thinking you can win it.
3rd and 1. The handoff to Snipes, and that will be a first down. And how about this, partner? Next week, the 100th matchup for the Battle of the Real HU. Hampton, Howard, going at it in Washington, D.C. Neutral site ball game, coming off the heels of this 50th matchup in this HBCU rivalry. And then, of course, the Aggie Eagle Classic next week for A&T. So 2 big-time rivalry games for these squads next week on the open week in CAA play.
Yeah, A&T is going to have to lick their wounds, look like. Hampton's going to be feeling good going into that game with Howard. A&T has some things they have to figure out, primarily at the quarterback position. Who's going to be healthy? And who's going to be playing quarterback for the Aggies when they take on not only a bitter rival in North Carolina Central, but a pretty good football team from Durham.
And let's face it, some of A&T's coaches this year were on that Trey Oliver Central staff last year. There is no love lost between all of these individuals. Sean Gibbs knows Trey Oliver very well. Trey Oliver came from over here, went over there. You're talking about the Rod Broadway coaching tree. It is going to be a fireworks display here in Greensboro next week.
You know what? You're right, but it's all a big family. I mean, Trey Oliver played at Central.
Well, sometimes families don't get along.
Coach Gibbs, he's a North Carolina Central graduate, so
I'm just saying. But sometimes families don't get along. I don't think they'll be getting along next week.
This is definitely true. But when you bring over coaches from different institutions, I mean, coaches move all the time. It's all about the kids on the field. The players on the field are ultimately going to decide the ball game. But again, will be fireworks. There'll be a lot of maroon and gray in the stadium next week, I'm sure.
It's going to be a great atmosphere here.
And for A&T, my primary focus, if I'm A&T, who's going to play quarterback next week?
I was going to say, if you're Sean Gibbs, I mean, are you rewriting the playbook and coming up with some wildcat offense like you've got Cadillac Williams and the Miami Dolphins from about 10 years ago?
That may be an option, but you can draw up all the plays you want. You got to be able to block it up and execute. And, that's something that they'll have a week to prepare for.
The 2-minute timeout is upon us. Hampton leads by 2 scores. We'll take the timeout with them on the field. We're back after this.
Hey, thank you very much. My name is Andrew Smith, and I popped into my local McDonald's to get my 2 favorite breakfast items on the buy one, get one for $1 breakfast meat, a sausage McMuffin, and my hash brown. I'll be back at lunchtime today to get a $5 meal deal featuring a chicken sandwich. Hope to see you at McDonald's soon.
On Flow College.
Fact, it's Ford Truck Month, and it's the best time to get a great deal on a new Ford truck.
From the company that assembles more vehicles, employs more hourly workers, who help make Ford the best-selling truck brand in Ford F-150 has power up front and out back. With up to 7.2 kilowatts in the bed, Pro Power Onboard lets you plug in the tools you need and get work done almost anywhere. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Next Saturday, and men's tennis continues its fall season. Visit NCATAggies.com.
A&T for Jabril Hassan, Franklin McCain, David Richmond, and Joseph McNeil. Unfortunately, on September 4th, Joseph McNeil passed away at the age of 83, leaving Jabril Hassan as the last surviving member. To Coach Gibbs, this legacy means more than history. It sends a message to his players that regardless of your classification, you can step out on faith and change the world. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Raven. As it's third down, the Pirates unable to move the football. A timeout is taken by A&T. And you know, you think about what Raven was just talking about, the A&T 4 and the front bumper of that helmet. And obviously it means more than just putting the silhouettes of 4 young men on the front of the helmet. There's some real world meaning and some real life lessons that can come from those 4 gentlemen and the courage that they showed over at Woolworth's on Elm Street. And, you know, what Sean Gibbs is doing is proving the point that it's more than just football. There are real life lessons to be learned and taught in this game, and that's what the Aggies are trying to accomplish.
Well, it's a rich history here at North Carolina A&T. You have, you know, a university that has, you know, some of my family members are graduates of North Carolina A&T, and, you know, they love their alma mater. You know, I'm not a graduate of A&T, but you hear about it everywhere, and A&T just has that history of being trailblazers on and off the field in the community, and Coach Gibbs wants to instill that in his players and understanding, like, hey, you know, things may be looking grim like it is right now on the scoreboard, but one man can change the world.
End over end kick. It will take an A&T roll and conclude at the 17.
And again, defensively, I got to give props to A&T. You know, I don't think that Hampton has, you know, really tried to put their foot on the gas pedal, but I don't think they've been vanilla by any means. They haven't been able to just line it up and run it down the throat of the Aggies defense. So, you know, you take positives from each game, and defensively, if you're A&T, you think like, hey, we played pretty well. You just have to come up with a couple of more drives and score a few more points offensively.
First and 10 for North Carolina A&T from its own 18 officially. Zanders just a bit outside, as the great Bob Uecker would say.
See, you took the words out of my mouth. Like, we Bob Uecker. And for A&T, again, I know I'm sounding like a broken record. Who's going to play quarterback for the Aggies next week in one of, if not probably your biggest game of the season to the fans, in the eyes of the fans?
Oh, listen, let's just make no mistake. If things are going to go right for A&T in only 1 week, and obviously there will be more, it needs to go right next week as Sanders leads Kennedy too far.
Yeah, Kennedy open, the center of the field was too high for him. But, you know, one thing I can say about next week's matchup between A&T and North Carolina Central, the smell of ribs and fish in this stadium will be unprecedented.
And everybody knows where to find us. Our position does not change, no matter the game.
I mean, even today, I'm walking up to the stadium. I'm like, man, it smells great around here. All I smell is food.
I will say it is great to be back. It's been a long off season. Sanders over the seam. That one incomplete. And now a flag comes flying in, as I think they're going to say Hightower didn't need to hit him because that one might have been uncatchable. That's a tough call. And now temper's starting to flare.
You see a couple of guys jawing at each other here as we await the call on the field.
After the play was over, personal foul. Defense, number 35.
Oh, it's going to be
Penalty. First down.
it's going to be on Hampton.
And that was after the play. I think it was a bit of, like you mentioned, taunting, personal foul. Not really taunting, but no need to hit.
It was the second contact.
Right.
But
then you got your backups in on defense for Hampton, just getting these guys a few snaps in the secondary.
so $1:34 to go. Sanders looking, throws, and completes the pass to Jones. He's right around midfield.
And I'm going to say, what if A&T scores here with a reasonable amount of time?
You kick the onside kick and you see what happens. Not even a question.
I've seen stranger things happen.
Listen, you have an unbelievable weapon in Andrew Brown who can kick a long field goal.
And if you
That's a lot of ifs, but another complete pass. This one just shy of the first down marker to Jamison Warren. So A&T has to hustle up.
And if you give Noah Sanders a week of preparation, be like, hey, you're the guy. You know, a lot can change in a week at the quarterback position. So Sanders, this could be an important drive for him to get some type of confidence and rhythm going into next week.
2nd and 1. Sanders to the sideline and overshoots Warren. That will stop the clock with 1:04 to go.
Intended for number 2, Jamison.
That's one thing I've noticed from Noah Sanders. His passes have been high. Had some guys open, but you can't fault the kid. He's out there in a tough situation.
3rd and 1. Sanders down the seam, complete to Warren, and he's in for 6.
Stranger things have happened. Noah Sanders, when you keep the ball down, good things can happen. Steps up in the pocket, rifles it down the seam.
That was spot on.
And that's a beautiful pitch and catch. And again, Jamison Warren, you look up at the scoreboard, I mean, it's 57 seconds left. There are no timeouts. One timeout for A&T, you kick the onside. If you get the onside, not only
you just got to get the field goal range.
You just got to get in field goal range. So I've seen stranger things happen. But again, that has to feel good for Noah Sanders in the offense for North Carolina A&T.
3-point game, 57 seconds left. Buckle up, folks. The CAA game of the week coming down to the wire.
This would certainly be something. You know, I'm sure people who are watching probably walked away, went on a bathroom break to refresh their beverage, whatever the case may be. You come back and you say, oh, A&T scored. And now the ever important onside kick. How often do you practice this if you're a special team?
I mean, you've got to, if you're a kicker, you're probably setting a tee up and doing this every day. If you're the kickoff coverage team, you're probably doing this a few times a week.
And Hampton's calling for their hands teams. And this is the point of the ball game where, like, hey, you know, someone has to make a play on both sides of the football for Hampton. Secure that football for A&T. Get to it by any means necessary. And if A&T can get this ball, they have life.
I mean, listen, there are a couple of strategies here, right? You could do the short onside kick. You could try and do the pooch kick and find the soft spot in the kickoff coverage and race. You've got options.
You see those frontline guys for Hampton, Ferguson, Jr., Moss, Richardson. That's where they're aiming at here. Let's see what happens.
Brown gets the high bounce, and Aaron Harris comes up with it. A&T is alive.
And all you have to do is get into field goal range. Looked like the Aggies were dead in the water. This game was a foregone conclusion.
And now flags come flying in, tempers flaring.
And I think that's going to add yardage on to North Carolina A&T, and the Aggies are in business now. You're saying getting field goal range. I'm saying touchdown if I'm A&T. I'm thinking touchdown. I'm thinking win the game.
Let's see where this goes. Anthony Florio.
And a lot of fans
will
left
make the call.
And started to leave around the 8-minute mark in the stands. We have an interesting situation brewing here. Unsportsmanlike on Hampton.
Folks, there's a reason why this was named the CAA Game of the Week.
Has not disappointed. And, we were talking about next week's ball game for both these ball clubs. And A&T playing their rival, North Carolina Central, Hampton playing one of their rivals in Howard. But it was still a game being played on the field, and A&T looked like they were dead in the water, hadn't done anything offensively in the second half. And Noah Sanders hadn't looked great, but put a drive together. A bunch of high balls from Sanders, but he was able to connect on a few on that drive, and the big one to Jamison Warren for the touchdown. Add on the onsides, and now the Aggies are in business.
This is why you play the full 60.
And I feel really bad for you if you left the stadium here, because you're going to miss out on a fantastic finish.
So they're going to say 56 seconds. 3-point ball game. 1st and 10 for A&T from the Hampton 37. Sanders dropping back, flush from the pocket, fakes, keeps his feet, runs downhill, and will get out of bounds. That was a big-time play by Noah Sanders to absorb that contact and then get out of bounds to stop the clock.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Not only did he not get tackled in bounds, but you stop the clock, you save that time out, and you don't turn the ball over. And you live to play another down, and if you're Hampton, your heart has to be beating outside of your chest now.
All the pressure in the world is on Hampton. Sanders down the sideline, completes the pass to Dillard. He gets shoved out of bounds.
Now you're definitely in Brown field goal range here. But again, I'm thinking touchdown if I'm A&T. Pulling a rabbit out of the hat. I'm thinking touchdown here if I'm A&T.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25 for North Carolina A&T. Sanders surveying, pump fakes, throws towards the sideline, and that one is incomplete. Led Dillard a little too long, but the clock stops. 40 seconds remaining, 1 timeout for North Carolina A&T.
And no harm, no foul on that one. Ball gets away from Sanders, but of course it's 4-down territory. You still can pick up a couple of first downs, so no panic for the Aggies.
Tucks, runs, sees some daylight, spins out of trouble, and keeps the football in his possession. He is up to the 20, and his helmet fell off. Well, do you take the timeout to let him come back in the game? That is the question.
You may have to do it. If not, you're going to have to run the football with J.T. Smith. And
it looks like there's going to be a conversation about a potential face mask. With 31 seconds left, the clock is stopped.
We don't see a flag on the field. We'll see what the call is from the official.
A&T will avoid the 10-second runoff and take the timeout.
Not only a 10-second runoff, but allowing Noah Sanders to stay in on the field on a crucial 3rd down here.
Well, if you're A&T, 3rd and 5 from the 20, you have to throw the football because now you don't have a timeout, because if you miss this, don't get the first down, you are in field goal range. You cannot squander that opportunity.
Now, you have to throw the football. Now, the clock does stop with the first down. So if you get the first down, you get up to the line, you clock it, and then you go from there. But if you don't get the first down, you're well within field goal range here. And, you know, you're well within Brown range exactly. He has a very strong leg for A&T. But so right now, things looking good for the Aggies. But, again, I said it. If you get the onside kick, think touchdown. Think let's win it.
Do you just go for pay dirt here? Do you just put? You just tell Noah Sanders, you know what? You have Andrew Brown behind you. Go for it. Go win us this football game.
I'm trying to set it up where I have single coverage on your best receiver, and I'm pretty sure that Hampton is playing zone here, so
there will be some soft spots.
It's going to be some soft spots in that middle to pick up the first, and if you pick up the first, you can clock it.
3rd and 5. Ball spotted at the 20. Sanders looking, throws down the sideline, sails it, and the field goal unit will come on for North Carolina A&T with 27 seconds remaining. He was looking for Jamison Warren.
Miscommunication there between Sanders and Warren. No harm, no foul. Field goal range here for North Carolina A&T. This is a big, big field goal attempt for Andrew Brown.
Andrew Brown already made a 49-yarder earlier today. This one, 38-yard attempt from the left hash. And now a timeout taken.
You kind of knew that was
Hampton.
coming. Trying to ice the kicker. You knew that was coming from Hampton. But kudos to A&T for not giving up in this ball game. And also for Hampton, the shock of, oh my God, we could lose this. After the onside kick, the defense found a way to force this field goal attempt.
The Pirates have won the last 3 in this series, 7 of the last 10. A&T has not beaten Hampton since both teams have left the MEAC. There's a lot riding on the line here, and the Aggies are still in search of their first CAA win.
And, again, if you make this field goal, there's 27 seconds left. I don't know if Hampton is going to try to do anything crazy with that time left to get in the field goal range. You go to overtime, and anything can happen in OT. So a lot of things on the line. You mentioned A&T trying to get their first conference win, CAA win, and trying to knock off Hampton for the first time in several years. Big kick here.
From 38 yards out, Andrew Brown. Page to hold. The kick is good. We're knotted up at 20 on the east side of Greensboro. Andrew Brown.
And I'm going to say this. Andrew Brown, ice water in his veins. A big kick right down the middle. And I'm going to have to text my wife, baby, have some coffee ready for me when I get home. Probably won't be until about 2 o'clock in the morning, but I'm good with it.
And I bet you the folks in the parking lot are wondering what the heck is going on.
Right, we left at about the 8-minute mark when we thought the game was over. And now you're getting text messages like, hey, man, like we just tied it. We're going to overtime. Possibly going to overtime.
23 seconds remaining. And I think this says a lot about a Sean Gibbs coach squad. They did not give up tonight. And the Aggies are in position to extend this football game. But listen, Hampton, they have experience in this, right? They lost 5 games by 6 points or less last year. It has spurred their motto, doing hard things together. They're wearing wristbands that say it. This would qualify from Coach Trenton Boykin as doing a hard thing together. You have let A&T back into this game. You are now trying to get the job done on the road in a very hostile environment.
Well, A&T, they were dead in the water at the 8-minute mark. And on that last drive, that was an improbable touchdown. A&T did nothing offensively before that touchdown drive to indicate that they were going to be capable of scoring 7 points. Not only did they do that, they get the onside. They tied up the field goal, and you mentioned Coach Boykin for Hampton. Hey, this is going to be something hard that you have to do now. And we're going to have to produce on the field.
Hampton only has 10 players on the field. Ball is still loose. It's picked up by Shepard.
That could have been disastrous for Hampton there. Right now, it looks like the Pirates are reeling. 22 seconds left. You still got some time. Get a big chunk play.
And you have 2 timeouts.
So you got time. This game is far from over. But again, are you willing to put the ball into harm's way? A tip ball interception could lose it for you if you're Hampton.
Decisions. And that is why these head coaches are paid a lot of money. And you and I are not head coaches.
But we are paid a lot of money.
So the game clock will go to 20 seconds.
Drama in Greensboro.
20 seconds remaining.
Drama in the borough.
What a ball game. It'll be a 4-wide set for Freeman to operate out of. Freeman, the delayed handoff to Shepard. Saw the soft spot and will get brought down at the 35. And A&T lucky there that no face mask penalty was thrown.
And Coach Boynton just content with, hey, let's take it to overtime. We feel like in the overtime period, we have a senior veteran quarterback. Let's try to win it there.
At the end of regulation, North Carolina A&T 20, Hampton 20. We head to overtime. On the east side, the CAA game of the week going to an extra session.
This is improbable to say the least, but I'm not surprised because I say it all the time. I've seen crazy things happen in football games, and A&T looked like they were getting ready for next week. But then all of a sudden, something happened, and now we're going to overtime.
Well, partner, I think you have to give all the credit in the world to Noah Sanders.
Yeah, Noah Sanders thrust into a position that's not enviable for a quarterback. I mean, you probably didn't prepare all that much if you're Noah Sanders. You had an inkling that you may see action if you had an injury at quarterback. But Noah Sanders didn't look great throwing the football until that last scoring drive for A&T.
And look at the difference in the sideline demeanor right now. A&T harnessing all that momentum, all pumped up. Hampton, I see a lot of down faces right now.
They can't believe it. I mean, you're
shell-shocked.
You're well on your way to a win. You're up by double digits. You're thinking like, okay, we got this. A couple of minutes left. A&T and not only did A&T put a scoring drive together, they did it with a quarterback that probably knows 20% of the playbook. So the Aggies right now with all the momentum.
North Carolina A&T with 2 scores in the final 57 seconds of this ball game.
And as you mentioned, A&T had their entire team on the field prior to this overtime coin toss. That's that togetherness that Coach Gibbs preaches about.
Let's listen in to Anthony Florio as he tosses the coin in the air. Hampton will call it in the air. They've called tails. And it is tails. So Hampton has deferred. A&T will go on offense first, and they will work towards the north goal.